like range of the price of Bitcoin at the time. And over time, as that changes every day, that starting price of it, and have it be the Bitcoin price blanket and sell it to some crypto nerd. Dude, that could be a thing.
I think we just invented a crypto scarf. We're live on the air. After 23.
That idea is patented, and
he's like my hands hurt already.
Right. But I
you want
tell
me to
you,
sign an NDA?
There'd be Mark. Somebody
Hold on,
that.
I got an NDA for you.
Buy that. Whoa, sausage party, down.
Jesus. I heard NDA get mentioned. I was getting
NDA. She said her hands hurt already.
I don't know what's going on here, but it sounds like some foot porn. Let's just get all the YouTube channels closed at the same time. I think this is on the Lightning for Liberty and mine.
This isn't Pickle Pete.
Let's just nuke all of our YouTube channels at once.
We're okay.
I have episode 200 coming
tomorrow.
up.
Oh, that's right. I heard that you said 199 today, and I'm like, oh, holy crap!
Oh, today wasn't 200. Okay, yeah, I heard it, but I half heard it.
Tomorrow, 200.
What are you gonna do?
I'm just gonna tell the story again.
200. How about your 200th comment on the live stream gets an ounce?
He's like, I'm gonna have 200 comments.
Okay. Half ounce.
If I wake up in time to listen to your shit, I might babble that much, but I'll be the only one.
I might set my alarm for some silver though. Just saying.
No, I mean I'm gonna tell the story again, and then I'm gonna stop short of my new revelation with everything. And the new direction I'm kind of gonna fucking blast off in, and then I'm gonna save that. And when it's closer, when I have a better idea of the timing on it, I'm gonna do an episode on that, and it's gonna get promoted on Fountain.
Like firm decisions on shit right before SRF, because your mind's gonna get blown.
Right.
And then you gotta reconsider.
Just play the 200th late night TikTok I send you tonight on your 200th episode, because it'll probably happen, He gives me shit all day. He goes, dude, how many TikToks did you send me? And I'm like, I don't know, as many as you sent me.
Hey,
no, Corey was busting my balls. I was like, oh, check this one out that Josh sent me last night, and I was like scrolling back.
You're like, how the hell?
He's like, Jesus fuck, how many does he send you? I was like trying to get to the last one I sent, because I went to bed and you sent like 17 messages overnight.
Yeah. Well, I see. Okay, so it profiles you based on the shit you watch, and I see a lot of fucked up shit.
Careful, if you DM Josh, you're opening the door.
What I think is, I know a motherfucker that would laugh at this fucked up shit, and it's usually Brian.
I will laugh at pretty much everything because I'm not offended by anything.
No.
That's what gets me in trouble so much is I don't understand people getting offended.
Especially comedy clubs. Like, what
offended?
I
mean, really, I think everybody uses like the Asperger's and all that shit as a scapegoat. Like, I really have a disconnect for people's bullshit when it comes to being offended, or not being able to tell somebody they're full of bullshit, or not being able to tell somebody they're bad at their job, or not, just telling the fucking truth shouldn't be offensive. So
it's kind of helpful if you think about it.
Have the choice.
I was taught as a child to tell the truth. I strive. There was a bunch of shit like through my life that really made white lies and half truths and shit like that acceptable through my first marriage. So when I got to break free of all the bullshit and be honest. I strive to be honest and tell the truth.
And some people don't like that.
And you can't tell somebody the truth. And I'm just blunt about it, and it gets me in a lot of trouble.
Can't you just be nicer? Well, it's like, I can put lipstick on a
plate. Well, I try. I try to be nicer.
I've had to tell some people that, it's like, look, you can be truthful and honest without having to be a complete cunt. But, sometimes it does come off a little bit.
Well, I try. I like ease them into it. I joke about it at first. I'm like, hey, maybe you shouldn't do it that way.
You can only beat around the bush so much,
There's
the thing I find about the people who tend to be the most offended, want to be. There are people who go out of their way. They want to be offended. Yeah. Well, whatever. Let them be.
Like, I will also, if I tell you you're doing it wrong or you're bad at whatever you're doing that I'm criticizing, I will also if you ask, I will offer you advice on how to do it in a more efficient or better or proper, safe way. I will offer that information to you. I'm not being a dick to be a dick.
Exactly.
It's not that I don't like you. I don't want to be your friend. Well, I don't want to be your friend because I'm working with you. Like,
right. Well, you know, if I
don't need a friend. Like, I don't.
If I take the time to
I don't
somebody,
get a job to get a friend. Like, if I want a friend, I get a friend. If I want a coworker, I work with a fucking guy that
if I put enough energy into the communication to actually offend somebody, we're probably already friends, because I'm not going to fuck around and waste time on somebody I don't like. If I don't like you, I'm probably not talking to you.
Dude, this is how you do it. Let's get it done.
Exactly.
It means you know enough to obviously spot their, like, holy fuck, dude, you just 10 times faster if you just flip that wrench around, right? And you, like, were walking down the sidewalk. You had no reason to intervene. Candace or Chicken Joe always fucking whaps me. Like, motherfucker, did you have to? I'm like, seriously, his life will be 10 times better when he flips that wrench around. We'll all be better off because he won't be a pissed off human. I think it's a win for the universe.
I won't have anxiety watching him do that.
Yeah. Oh no, goddamn. Oh no, it's you should see us having dinner someplace.
The worst part for me is
trying not to look at the grill. Like, oh, don't even. I gotta talk. Can I talk?
I can't walk into a grocery store without walking through the meat department. It's just part of me. I have to see. I have to know. I probably shouldn't, but I've got to walk through and see. You know. And every time I'm doing it, there's some guy sitting there with like a fucking round steak and a chuck eye, and he's just like eyeing them back and forth and looking all.
And it's like if you look the manager in the fucking eye and you're like, hey, do you give a fuck about making any more money or making this easier?
I just walk up to the guy and I go, "Are you grilling?"
Excuse. The answer is no. Doesn't matter what his mouth says. If it's like,
so
boom, download.
It's been like 2 weeks now ish since my departure. I think, and so I don't drive very much anymore.
Oh my god, you're gonna hate it more every fucking day.
We don't leave the house. Corey and I just don't leave the property. So I had to do some shit, and I had to leave. So I had to get gas, and I thought I had disconnected from this shit enough. I pulled into that fucking gas station. I looked at the gas pump, and I just started fucking shaking my head, and getting anxiety at the gas station.
At the gas pump? Oh,
because there was fucking out of order bag on the one next to it, and I'm like,
PTSD engaged.
Like, I felt my blood pressure go up, and I felt angry, and I'm like,
not my problem anymore.
This is a fucking visceral reaction I'm having because I thought I had like totally just been like, I don't fucking care.
I think if you had blue hair, they would call that being triggered.
You should call it into the competitor.
Oh no, they work there now because they wouldn't hire us.
Hot job for you.
One of the guys that left told me that. He's like, dude, I'm working in Onamia today.
That's fucking great.
Oh, so it reminds me of just I was talking yesterday on my podcast, and I know I kind of told you a bunch of shit there, Brian, with all the crap from I worked at this place.
Did you like my liberty? Did you like my anarchist reply?
Yes,
anarchist defense.
Yes, that was perfect. That was perfect. Oh man, but no, it's like I have moved on. I let all that shit go, and then I've been nice to them because I have coworkers that work there, and I'm like, I'm not gonna fuck their shit up. And then I hear what goes on. It was instantly just super angry. I'm like, all of that shit was just like.
I did listen.
And the motherfucker who I worked for called me up at one point, and he's all like, "Hey, I heard you stopped by," and I'm like, "Oh, okay." And it took like probably 3 minutes into this conversation until I was like, "All right, look, here's all the shit you haven't heard in 3 years," and I just laid it on him, and he's just sitting there silent, like, "Well, for like 3 years we've been cordial," and I'm like, "And you just got rid of the last fucking reason for me to be nice to you."
Yeah.
So here you go.
Well, yeah, and he was nervous about he felt Josh was confiding to me that he was feeling uncomfortable about using the state against someone.
Well,
Yeah,
no,
see,
it's
that
not
makes
even me.
sense.
I'm like,
The
I'm not
status
saying that I whatever. It's not on me. I'm not.
No,
I've
no, no,
used
no, no,
everything
no.
that I have.
Hypothetically, as an anarchist, if he was considering options, he was having a conflict of interest if it would have been appropriate to use the state in revenge against him.
Right. If
And I
everybody
rested
would
him
choose-
assured that he was definitely within his bounds of doing that, because the people that he would have been perpetrating the state on were doing the most heinous type of violation of the
Bullshit,
NAP.
yeah. Well, and the other thing that I said too is like, you know, these people willingly signed up to play that game. You willingly
Well, they
said,
did. That's
"Let's
the other
involve-
part. Yeah,
let's
they
involve these
did.
agencies, and then let's blatantly disregard all the rules we just signed up to play, while fucking people over, lying to them, and potentially poisoning people in the process."
See, I err on the side of never calling the motherfucking man, but
It's
The truth
not my
is-
call in this case. However,
No,
I'm not going to
I-
judge a motherfucker for doing it. That's for damn.
no, but in
Right.
general, the truth is 100% defense to libel. So
Absolutely. That's what I told
you
my
have
buddy
to call
too.
the man when you use the fucking name of the place and you say exactly what fucking happened, and you got the stones to go, come take my house, motherfuckers.
The truth is always
Come on.
a defense to libel, as long as it is
It
true.
may
And then
cost
the
you.
other thing about that
But
is,
it's
if they want to prove that that's not true, then that means that they have to open up Hell's Gates and say, "Come on in and look at all of our shit and let us show you that it's not true." And you don't want to do that if you're fucking around.
it's more like to come after you for libel.
Mm-hmm.
They open themselves up.
Exactly. That's what I mean.
To a
They've got to
counter
prove
because
that
you get
everything
to
they're doing
rip
is
us off.
above board, and they're not
So
going to
it's
be able
like,
to.
well, in my defense, then I'm going to need all your records.
Right.
So
Exactly.
there you go.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's one of those, like, if you are being 100% fucking honest, and I see, like, the problem is when my homies call certain people, like, I know I was a bad employee and I broke so many fucking rules. I could have been fired any minute for ever. Pee in a cup, yeah, taste test only, bitch. Right? But yeah. Could something have gone down that was a little hocus pocus that you're 100% privy to, that was like, now it's like, okay, now all the bad shit, yeah, you gotta let people cool down a little bit and then like re-come back. If they're still pissed in 30 days, there's some fucking shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little cooling off period.
No, I finally the other day was just like, you know what? All right, fuck it. Here's the deal, y'all. I've seen some shit.
Well,
my problem is it's
All of it.
unknowing. It's an unknowing violation.
That is what really, yeah, it's a violation of trust. That's the thing.
100%. That's why I think the person who knows it and can say it should go publicly and say
Yep,
it. Fly the fucking
exactly.
flag on the screen and say it.
Right.
Right. And then the customers know what
Mhm.
really happens, and
They
they can
sure.
decide. You don't need a state actor.
No,
Just
no,
say
you
it.
don't. Absolutely. However, though,
Well, yes,
When
if
somebody
the
is
Market will decide,
when
no,
somebody
somebody
is-
might
decides
go,
to call the state, then that's a different story.
some people might just go, fuck it. I want my meat done cheap, and I want it done at the closest place to my motherfucking house. I don't care if they beat them with baseball bats, right? And marry each other, people. That's what.
go for it. Go do what you're gonna do. Like,
do your shit.
I
don't
won't ever
wanna
tell
know
you what to
about
do.
it. I wanna see
do
it.
your due diligence, and
Yeah.
if you're okay with it, then that's fine. Guess what? That is
Horrible.
freedom of
Oh,
choice.
Evil shit. Yeah. It's
Freedom
evil shit.
of choice.
I
But-
wonder
give a
where
fuck.
there's a place that he could take a video and make it and broadcast it to everybody that he'd want to listen to.
Oh,
Yeah.
that might happen. There might be something. I don't know.
Odyssey can't ever be taken down.
Right? I don't know. It's possible I might interview a guy on a podcast at some point.
You
We'll
might.
see.
Maybe an Odyssey channel.
I mean,
can, like,
there might be a tie to a butcher podcast to interview somebody on the bad side of the
Oh,
butcher
my God.
industry.
Heard that
Oh,
guy's a
the
real
renegade
fucking renegade that don't
Boocast.
give no fucks
It's like
either. so-
you're in a pillowcase. You got a voice synthesizer.
the whole blurred thing.
Draw a big happy smile.
Giant caption above it. You know,
It's just a hanging piece of bloody meat for the camera.
Nobody steal my fucking idea.
Well, what did I say too? I was like, look, I'm not going to name any names, but if you're in Southeast Texas and you're using a processor and their name sort of rhymes with a weasel-like creature that's known to run off of cliffs,
I started going like Lemming, Fleming, Blemming, Hemming, Hemming, Bemming, Nemming, Nemming.
I'm like, I didn't name a damn name. I'm not gonna name a name. I'm a better guy than that. However,
I was like,
everybody's Googling Southeast Texas meat processors.
Rhyming, rhymes.
I'm not in control of what you Google, and I don't want to be. I know what this guy up here Googles.
Don't fucking Google
this
shit.
guy. Look at this guy right here. You know him. He dances in fucking pickle outfits and shit.
Well, we were talking about people cheating at chess with vibrating butt plugs, remote vibrating butt plugs.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, that was just on my computer.
Who had that?
The other night.
No, LED.
LED butt plug.
I like blinky shiny things. But it wasn't that.
Okay.
Have you seen that meme with the girl that had it in the mini skirt, and it was she was like walking down the sidewalk at night? It was like had a glow path.
Oh my god, those ones that you could put on like sound reactive off your phone.
Yeah.
Or can you imagine if they had them sync to their heartbeat off their fucking watch? Whoo, doggy! I think I just invented a new toy. Patent pending.
I think back when the Wii came out, I'm sure this is like a thing now with VR for sure in the metaverse, but like back when the Wii originally came out, I was like, how is there not like a sex toy game?
There is.
Was there?
There probably was.
Well, there is.
They didn't have
I think there's probably allegedly entire websites out there where you can remote control those.
Silicone molding.
But with a Wii,
it would be pretty cool if people could
like
do that with lightning.
Dude,
somebody should do that with lightning. Lightning enabled.
We were talking about that the other day.
Itty bitty tipped.
We were talking about that the other day.
You should contact those guys at ittybitty.com and be like, dude, we got to work together.
We got a deal going on here. I want 1%. I want 1% of every tip.
Don't troll OnlyFans. Holy shit, the stuff you'll see.
I'm like, there's got to be a way to skim off the porn industry without doing porn.
Yeah,
make
it's
devices.
A pimp.
Yeah, make stuff.
No shit.
It's called running a site.
Right.
When I bought a house outside of Phoenix, like there
was but even more peripheral than that. Just
I looked at buying a sex store, building one actually from scratch.
What you need to do is provide a service and run the backbone that service runs on. That's not actually for porn, but the porn.
Oh, you mean like a lightning enabled, like yeah.
Can you sell a franchise without having one? Can you sell an idea to somebody?
Franchises fucking blow. Oh, franchises so suck.
I guess if you could manage to patent an idea,
you have to have it all fleshed out enough to write the business plan, so that you can file it, so that you can register it, so that you can shop it. But then you got to do the NDA bullshit, and everybody will be like, "Fuck."
It would take a bunch of money basically down to get it done.
Because everybody's got the idea. That's the fucking like.
I have so many fucking
team together, keeping on it for 3 years with no money, living on ramen, all the shit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm full of fucking ideas. If somebody needs ideas and they've got money and a development team, hit me fucking up.
That might be why there's going to be a founders round Kickstarter to make it all happen.
Right?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, get it like down to solidify. Once it solidifies enough to drive the money.
Jack interviewed him at one point. There's I forget the name of it. I'll have to look it up now. There's a company that they do specifically like seed money like that for Bitcoin projects.
They're really expensive. Like you're giving away 40%. And then you gotta when you get the 60, then you gotta pay taxes, which is another 40. So
I need to look it up again. There's one that's
you're like, I need $500,000. Okay, so you got to raise 2. Okay,
maybe. I don't think they're feasible.
I mean, could you really?
Someone else I'm thinking about.
I mean, I'm thinking my shit. Like, really, how much
Because when I went to do I tried to do a Kickstarter.
Right.
I forget which launch it was, and I got or GoFundMe. I got I got one of them up half-ass. The amount of bullshit you have to jump through is
There's.
so ridiculous.
I need to find this now. Now it's.
But
gonna
I mean,
flip in my
Nicole
head.
ran one of her own.
She has a huge following already that self-funded that thing in like 30 seconds. It was
Well,
a day.
right. But I'm saying you could self-host that and not have to have all the
Self-hosted.
fees.
That's what I mean. And not
I run a fucking Bitcoin and Lightning enabled fundraiser on
Oh,
Renegade.
yeah,
If
that's
anybody
right.
wants to donate for some sausage, but I self-hosted that using that same software. I mean, I'm not running a platform to do it, but you can have a WordPress site, add a crowdfunding plugin, and then have whatever payments you want to accept through WooCommerce.
Right.
You can do it yourself if you want to fuck with that. Yeah.
throw it in a crowdsourcing bucket, do it yourself. Yeah, I'm just saying all those services that launch businesses or white knight money for startups are ridiculously expensive because
Yeah.
everything is
find
triple
this one I'm
backed
thinking
and
of, 'cause
trade
they-
and fucking startups to. That's why you usually need somebody with like
Geyser.
managing for a
Geyser
while.
is the one I'm thinking of.
And then
They do, yeah. Let me look here. I don't know what their
But
fees are,
a
but you know,
solid
Geyser
program.
specifically does crowdfunding
It's a
for
parlay it.
Bitcoin startups. Let's see here. I'm going to find their fees now. I want to say
always
they
a-
weren't that outrageous.
It's always the money changing won't be. It's in the management services. If they're gonna when you go to do those Kickstarters, you'll start getting all kinds of emails from everybody who's like, "Hey, we will make this thing hit its number for X%."
It's actually Lightning
They
based.
tell everybody who's like, "We'll guarantee you we will make this, but it'll cost you." And it was about 30% is what they would drive it to for you. I just
Right.
or you could do 27 media. You could do 3 a day, 8 platforms. Now that we can multi-stream shit, their services are getting easier to replicate. So I haven't. And that was 3 or 4 years ago when I tried a half-ass one. I think it was originally when I was gonna get my coffee roaster. Shit, that might have been 7, 8 years ago.
Dude, no, seriously. Geyser, it's Lightning based crowdfunding. They do not charge a fee. They provide the platform and you can use your own node and the funds go directly to you.
Right, and then you
It's
have
a
to do
platform that
100%
enables you
of the
to do it.
promotion.
They will
You
put
have
it
to do all
on
the
their
promotion.
platform and
You have to
everything.
drive every human there to go give you money.
But
The
they
thing
put
on
it up on
Bitcoin
your
is they put it in
platform,
front
on
of
their
millions.
platform too, and their platform is all Bitcoin-based startup funding things. So you're getting that exposure. You're still having to generate it. It's not
You
the
gotta
same. I mean, so
Right.
it's attracting the crowd of all the people who are interested in funding Bitcoin-based projects. So it's a good place to get into if you're looking for a crowdfunding.
No, for sure. It's
Okay,
probably
yeah.
the cheapest solution there is. It's just going outside of you doing it for you.
Oh yeah, no, you're
So
not.
you're
It's
paying
not going to be the
agency.
same thing as doing like a GoFundMe. But you also don't have the Canadian trucker problem where they decide to shut it down and keep your shit.
Right. So you just
So-
got to decide how much you like doing social media. Are you committed to it? Will
Well,
you
even
treat
if
it
you
like a job?
do, even if you do one of the GoFundMe type things, because I've known people who've done it, you don't get anywhere with it if you don't promote it. You've got to do a lot of that promotion yourself. There's a
That's what I'm
million of
saying.
those out there, and they're not going to promote your shit for you. You got to go
Option-
out there and beg for money.
Option 2 is hiring the pros. No,
Right.
no.
It's
I'm just
gonna
saying
cost.
that's what if you there's ways to write business models, right? That's
It's going to
one
cost you.
It's a legitimate business.
legitimate business. Hey,
Oh, it's when I went on
So
my
that
rant
guy
the other
takes the
day.
30% and pays influencers to pop
Yeah.
your fucking.
they're taking 10,
GoFundMe.
kicking influencers 20 or
Ranting
whatever.
the other
I don't
day
know.
about this stupid shit with my old job. I was like, here's the deal. If you want to run a legitimate business, you better run a fucking legitimate business. If you want to play this gangster shit, you better be willing to act like a gangster, and you better be willing to fucking either pony up the goddamn hush money or show the
Careful.
fuck up and start and fix a problem. Because
You
you're not
only have
willing
2
to
knees.
I'm like, you don't need to play Mr. Black Market and be above and beyond, the letter of the law here. You don't get
Oh,
to do
he
both.
thought he could play dirty and not get his kneecaps busted.
They wanted their cake and eat it too. I want to play dirty, but I also think I'm going to get away
There's
with
an
it.
opportunity cost to run shit off the books.
You want to
And-
play dirty, you better be willing to pay the price of playing dirty.
Well, that's that whole thing where it was somewhere down south, one of the counties with the bingo halls that they were using for slot machines.
No way.
And it was like not illegal in the state, but it was illegal in the county, but somebody had to file a claim, but they were licensed through the state. So they basically would just open up again. They pay the fine and open up again, and it would make a complaint from someone to shut them down. So they would like complain against each other and battle back and forth
Of who
And
was
they would
open
pay
currently.
the fine
as
and
a
open back
weapon.
up because it was so lucrative to do it. I can't remember
fucking
exactly
great.
all the details, but that was like, I'm like, oh, government at its finest, right there,
Oh yeah, exactly.
taking
Oh,
the
yeah.
cut on the vig in the middle with the fines and
Right, get
you know,
everybody in the industry to keep narking each other, right?
Doing that, so
super
we keep
fucking
harvesting
gangster
fines.
and-
So,
It's-
but it's still lucrative for us to harvest those fines. So we're going to keep that. We're going to keep farming this.
It's the bookie taking the vig, man. That's all it is.
all it is.
All it is.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, honestly, what is the government? It's just a big organized mafia that we've all learned that's the way it's gotta be.
If our shit didn't go from the crotch shot, there it went from calling the government a fucking gang.
Right?
the blue-
No
The
shit.
blue gang.
No
I
shit.
always love that on the cars.
mean,
I'm like, I always
Tell
go
me
like,
your,
I'm
tell
in
me your
too, man.
taxes aren't fucking protection money. Tell me the difference.
So here's the deal. So my ex
You gangsta.
my ex people that will remain nameless thought I was so horrible and public about shit. Like I was reserved because every day when I was at these places and I had their uniform on, there'd be like a cop that had like the silk screen, like faded out Heidi hide cars. And every day I would be like, yo, nice car. Like, oh, you like it? I was like, yeah, I really like that paint job. Why can't you see cop? Like, what if somebody was trying to find you?
Yeah.
And just
What
get
if somebody-
bust their balls. Like I had so many opportunities to bust balls of stupid cops that were like
right?
getting donuts and shit. And oh man, I just held back. I never once did it.
Hey,
Like,
I want to quick say, because I just looked and I saw somebody had commented. By the way, all of these communities are fucking awesome because they were having the RTA thing with their YouTube channel this morning and they couldn't sync it up with their Odyssey.
Yeah.
And they thought they had like 24 subscribers and they're like, we'll never get to 100. We just hit 100. Just hit 100 from 10 a.m. this morning.
I was 91. That's why I put
Yep,
91
I
after
just
my.
looked. We hit 100. We threw some of that stats for likes out there, and then got all these people in like 5 different groups all on
Right.
it. And I was like, "Look, you'll be 100 by the end of the day. We just hit 100 on there. So fuck yeah, there we go. Good people, go. That's what that
hey,
shit's about, though.
We should drop it in the comments right here. Where the hell was that?
We'll let you do it because sometimes
It's
it
in
doesn't let me.
It's in the Telegram chat. Is where you drop
Yeah,
it.
it's in.
I'm gonna go grab it. Hold on, I'll go grab it. You guys
He's got to run off stage to go
You
grab
could
it.
go to.
No,
What's
it's
the address to their website, Brian? I think you know it by now.
RTAmagazine.com.
Oh, I'm at the other Brian, but he's got it figured out now too. Even though you, hey Brian, did you realize on your show today when you were flipping through the magazine and showing all that shit, you were on your other browser tab the whole time? None of us saw any of what you were reading. It just showed their RTA website, and you were on another tab flipping through it and talking about it. Nobody saw shit.
Wait.
I was trying to tell you.
Wait. The book wasn't up there and it wasn't
So you
flipping
clicked
pages.
to their website, and then when you open the magazine, it opened in another tab, but the screenshot stayed on the other tab of their website the whole time.
Jeez.
I was like, Brian, and you were just busy reading away. But the audio was great.
Oh, that's fucking tech time.
I was like, oh, tech time. He's tech time.
Oh, hey, look,
Hey,
Patricia's in there. She's like probably typing away furiously.
Hey,
like,
Patty, look, who'd you sue today?
Wow, that look.
Damn, like a lawyer.
Fuckers. Oh, hold on. Oh, no.
I'm so happy. Just the joy pouring forth.
That's a long
Oh,
way.
The glasses went on. Damn.
Okay,
I feel like I'm in trouble now. Paddle's
You're in
about to
trouble?
come out.
That matter is the beginning of one of these movies on that site that I'm going to try to make money.
No, I just like I'm in Memphis next week, so I'm trying to get everything done this week.
She's
and
getting
so,
her evil pirate face on.
How many stats would it take for us to say you've been a bad boy?
Do you have all your travel, travel arrangements for your pews with you all figured out?
you're taking pews with me.
To
I am
Memphis?
way-
Memphis.
I am
You just
way
You're
too
going to
funny.
Memphis.
I'm not gonna leave the hotel.
Large screwdriver.
Like
What do you think happens at hotels in Memphis?
Not that one.
No, not the Peabody. Holy
Not
shit.
the
Yeah,
Peabody.
Undercover. Downtown Charlie Brown.
Our night hotel. No,
I'm not leaving the hotel. That's probably a good idea.
I'm not.
I warned
Everything
you
at the
about
hotel-
Beale Street. When somebody says, let's go to Beale Street for
Absolutely
just
not.
one drink, you know how that will end.
No.
Just
I'm not.
one night of drinks.
Uh-huh, yeah,
One-
yeah.
That's
one
what the
night.
Just
hotel is
one,
for.
how far will my card go?
I don't have to go anywhere.
Just one.
Between the food at the hotel and Uber Eats, I don't have to go anywhere.
Yeah, well, the really good barbecue is down that alley.
Uber Eats.
It's always the best.
Oh, yeah, that's true. They'll bring you the alley food.
They will bring it to me.
All right. Let's see.
and if I
It's
go
not the same. You're
anywhere,
not gonna go experience the nightlife.
nah. If I go anywhere, it'll be in a group of like 12. So,
Big targets.
well,
Yeah. Hey, are those all Rolexes?
no, because we all travel a lot. The most fun thing I travel with is my Apple Watch. Like,
Somebody walks up walks up to you and sees you with an Apple Watch, and they're about to mug you. The last thing you need to do is say, "Hey, I'm a lawyer."
Hey, if you need to get out of jail, give me a call.
we have it.
Like,
You got my
Can you
number.
negotiate this mugging?
Take all my shit. Okay. I have insurance here.
Exactly. Yeah, take it. Fuck it. I'll just
Hey,
file
fuck
it.
it, I'm here.
look, you could take this, or we could take this to arbitration.
Yeah. No. In that situation, it's like, here, you want it? Also, I
Patty's
feel
been
like,
killing it. You've been doing some arbitrating jobs, huh?
yeah, I did. I actually did a contract for somebody in California because that's where I'm licensed. And I was just arguing about bullshit in a legal channel. And I got a message and he was like, hey, I'm doing this contract and I'm trying to legally avoid government control of my project. What do I do? And I was like, here's how you do it. I'm your girl. Like, right. So, and it's cool. It's a cross-border project. He's in California, the product's in New York. So I was able to like write it up and limit his liability and do all the things. And I think it's getting signed this week. I think it's done. I had a couple more comments this week, but I'm cheap on that stuff. I'm only charging $220 an hour for that, which is like half of what you would pay for a law firm.
Notice
And
the
I-
website down there. Guess
Yeah,
what?
notice the
Far up
And I'm like, I'm freaking fast,
I
right?
have a friend.
And
that
it's a
has
legitimate
question.
business.
Yeah,
I have a friend that has a question.
yeah.
Is there a way that if
A
you're
friend.
setting up a closed membership type thing,
Yep.
say like a mirror of a popular lip stamp website where people do camping stuff, and you set it up all privately, could you avoid any of the like restricting factors on listings that they do, like where latrines are required, stuff like that? Can you make up your own rules?
If you create your own platform, you can do whatever the hell you want.
Because you can write the
You write
user agreements.
It's it's if you started, Camp with the Lots project or whatever,
because your nightly
Right.
rental would be a new contract with everybody.
Right. So you could have a standard user agreement that said, we don't promise anything that you're going to get at
You
the
may have
site.
to shoot in a hole.
You may have to shit in a hole. You don't know.
Right.
Or we promise
And
transparency.
I would go a step further.
No.
And campwiththelodgeproject.com. This is not a real website. I suppose that nobody go there and yell at me because there's nothing there. So
You can check out consulting services on the consulting webpage.
right, exactly. So if you book something through whatever.com, and shit goes sideways, whatever.com is not liable in any way, shape, or form for any of your bullshit or any of their bullshit. We're
Right.
just the conduit.
Well, right, and
Yeah.
I've been brainstorming with some people, and we were talking like an arbitration type setup where it's almost like an instant messenger.
Yep.
You set up the standard, however many responses have to confirm or deny. They can request more information, and it's basically like everybody that signs up to be an arbiter in the system just gets a notification.
Yep.
And it might take 8 hours, it might take 8 minutes,
Yep.
but when enough votes are, and hopefully run it through all like smart contracts. So it's
And
just
to do it something like, hey,
Easy.
the agreement is solely between the landowner and the person who is actually
Right.
camping on the land. However, the security deposit is basically held in escrow
You are both paying me
until everything goes and then it's
escrow.
released back to a certain party kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah, you're paying me for escrow services.
Essentially, yeah.
And
You're
you know what?
basically acting as a mediator, but you're not responsible for what happens between the two.
Okay,
Exactly
so
right.
my idea was
Well,
when
and then
it goes
they'd have an agreement that they would sign just
You're
to
facilitating an
establish a
agreement between the parties.
username. There would have to be up and down like cover
Mhm.
my ass. Like,
You're facilitating an agreement between two parties, but
One
you're doing the
human
best you
to
can to make
another
sure that
human.
stays fair between the parties.
Yep.
both
And when the
declared
party,
illegally
when the
able to-
landowner sets up when the landowner sets up their shit, they will have a box to put in their own terms and conditions,
right.
so that when somebody books, they're signing onto your terms and conditions.
And I don't know if I would have somebody I could refer to for landowners to talk to write a Loctite agreement. I mean, there wouldn't happen to be anybody in network that would be able to do that.
In California, yes.
You know what you could do, Patty? Though you could write the California one and say,
I
"Look,
can't.
for California, you want to use
Well,
this.
I
Pay me
believe
X.
when you're
For
doing
everywhere else, you want an adaptation.
Well,
I'll get you an
okay, if
adaptation
I'm not
for that.
mistaken, and this might just be me, but I know when you're setting up, say, a website or whatnot, and you put up your terms or conditions or whatnot, you list the location, the state or whatnot that you want this agreement to be, upheld in, or basically, if we go to court, we go to court in this state. So you
Correct.
could technically say, since you're doing a nationwide thing, our business itself, we want to do our legal dealings in said state. So whatever state our lawyer is licensed in,
You can.
this is-
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
Guess what? You got to deal with my shit here.
Right.
And actually,
It's probably better to do, say, like South Dakota or something. But
well, I have to look again because
Look.
you know what? California is unfavorable in a lot of ways, but in this kind of stuff, it's not always unfavorable because they actually keep up with tech out there.
Right.
They're it's an entertainment state, right? So,
right.
Yeah, I think
There's a lot of camping.
another attorney gave me a list of states, and it was like, yeah, California just depends. It really does.
depends on what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it was like Nevada.
Nevada's good. I like Nevada.
Nevada, Utah, South Dakota, maybe were the
South
other
You
two.
could write a
Dakota.
boilerplate agreement for the U.S. though that each landowner can run by their attorney.
Yeah. Yeah.
Make
you can
sure
do
you
that.
run this by your guy before you sign off, and it might
Yeah.
make an adaptation for your locality.
Now,
Yeah,
if you,
and
if
it's
you need-
enough-
well, that'd be another cool thing because you could actually bring in a panel of different lawyers who want to do arbitration in different states and have them available and say we can suggest.
So here's
someone
what's
who's part of the
cool.
network.
Okay, so here's what's cool.
Support.
You don't need any kind of license to be an arbitrator, and I can do that
Right.
anywhere.
And if your agreement is everybody agrees to binding arbitration,
Yep.
then outside of certain boilerplate stuff, you don't need to have the nuts and bolts of the agreement.
No, you don't. And
I mean, it's actually more beneficial to all parties involved if they go arbitration.
it
It was
is. And
part
you
of
can have
the-
your panel right there.
Well, yeah, because it's
talking about
the
is
panel
instant
is the
resolution.
members of the website. Everybody is
crowdsourced.
You can do it that way.
ability
That's
to
a
be
lot
an
of damn
arbitrator.
cooks in the kitchen. But That is a
Crowdsource
lot of
with people that
cooks.
have a stake, right?
you want it to be
And
like,
it's close to instant. It's public,
Yeah,
transparent. Publish
okay,
the
so
results.
here's how I would set it up. So steal my ideas if you like it. So here's how I would set it up. An arbitration panel is usually one arbitrator or three arbitrators or five arbitrators.
Three or
Okay?
five.
So I would go 3 or 5.
And
And
then
I
you
would
remember
set
if you
it
have a
up so
tiebreak.
that- Yep. So I would set it up so you have a list of pre-vetted arbitrators, and when the thing goes out, it's the first 3 or 5 responses, whatever you want to do.
You could do that.
The thing
Or,
goes
or it
out.
could
right?
be
It
if
could be
there's
5 minutes.
Right, it opens up. You can read it if it's like cut and dry.
Email.
Like somebody took pictures and they said like example that Brian used was they said it's a beautiful flower garden. You get there and it's like a toxic pit, and they
Right.
took a picture and said this is what a flower garden looks like. So 5 people dig in and they go, yeah, no.
right.
Yeah.
Right.
Or you could have,
Or
you
they
could
can
have a-
say, well, from a different angle, we might want a more of a description because this is kind of, and then
Right.
they can just go into more
Yep,
detail.
I would do it
But
the first
all
time.
of these arbitration, we want to make them public in the reviews. So
Yeah.
like
And
a
I think
a
it's so
summary of
few.
everything is public.
transparency.
Most
Right.
go
You
so
make it a-
smooth.
You can make it
most
a
people-
Telegram channel, a locked one, so that only the people that are selected to post can
I was
post.
just gonna do it on a website in a
Whatever,
kind of
yeah,
web
and just
app.
have it up
Inside and out. So it
Have
can
it-
be done with lightning. It can be quickly done. But so what I was going to say. Oh, here, get rid of that. It's so rare that the camper is a dickhead, right? 1 out of 40. So the deal is, as a landowner, I'm good with losing half that rental for a fair, transparent, published settlement.
Mhm.
So the camper gets rated. So when they go to Josh's place, they don't fuck his place up because he's going to look at that review and go, oh no, I know him. If he thought they were dickheads, they are not staying here.
Right,
So
right.
that's the beauty of it, right? And I'm willing to pay for that. And the camper should be too, right? It's like, okay, if anything happens and I have to arbitrate against this landowner, I agree to kick in, $40 off my security deposit or whatever, because you got to pay the arbitrators. Like they need.
Well, and you could do even like if you're requiring five arbitrators, you could do 2 campers, 2 landowners, and then 1 from like an advisory panel from the whole fucking thing that are like
from your board of directors or your.
You can tag people with whatever, and it pulls them in based off their tags. And the other thing you would put in your hypothetical user agreement is that you must submit any disputes within 20 days of checkout, or you waive all right to everything.
Right. Yeah, the sooner the better. Like do it on site if you have fucking coverage. Let's do this now.
The other thing you could end up doing too is you could almost sort of treat it like with a lot of cryptos, sort of like the liquidity idea, but almost like you can stake a certain amount of money. So the more you want to put in as this is my security deposit that stays on the app, this is my security deposit that just goes, it goes there. And if I'm a baller and I want to put $3,000 on there, well, that can show up in my rating as this guy's a pretty safe guy to rent to.
Oh, you can rent better places. I didn't think about that.
And I know he's got that money. It's staked. It could be a separate rating system or something like that.
Yeah, different landowners could restrict different staking options.
I only want people who are staked this much to be able to.
Because I said to Brian, like, what is it? Why is it limited to campsites with this setup? Why can't it be the best of Airbnb?
Right,
and
Airbnb, campsites.
So if you want to rent my Airbnb, you're going to have like $1,000 staked because that's what it's going to cost me to evict you.
Well, and look at how popular stuff like Turo is now, where you can rent other people's cars. You could actually have that app be other rentals too, beyond just land. If you wanted to expand it there, you've built the platform. You built the platform. You build the technology. And you could expand.
It's just an instant arbitrating service for peer-to-peer exchanges where you
peer-to-peer property land exchanges.
Yeah, you go to AAA and pay $100 an hour.
They abuse the owners because they don't get back to you. Then they stall you. Then they call center you. Then when you're finally like, no, motherfucker, I'm not getting off this goddamn phone. I got you in my ear and I got 23 hours to drive. Like, I guess I can go longer than you. Then finally, you get somebody to talk to.
Yeah,
and they the first thing you said, you did that 18 fucking hours ago. So
I helped someone with an arbitration.
Would I pay for that?
Yeah, I helped someone with an arbitration against Airbnb because their if you are an owner, their agreement requires arbitration. And I helped him, and you kind of have to go through the motions because I'm sorry, I'm not trying to.
If you have a phone number or a number to get to fucking Airbnb for arbitration, I'm calling you next time you have.
Oh, we did it already. He already went.
I always win, but I gotta beat him down.
No, we already did it. So lost at the arbitration, which I kind of knew was going to happen because their terms are so shitty. They can make it do anything. And I was like, well, look, if you want to appeal, it's going to cost you X, and it's not going to be me because I have a full-time gig and I can't handle appellate work. And ultimately ended up not doing it. But you can get to arbitration with Airbnb real fast because if they tell you no, then you can sue them directly where your property is. But again, it's going to be who knows what arbitrator. And it's going to cost a shitload of money. And reality is you're just trying to go through the motions to be able to appeal. But that's, appeals are expensive, man.
And they make it complicated. It doesn't have to be that complicated.
No, it does not need to be that
complicated. And if there were fair systems in place that already dealt with problems like this, if the technology existed to make everybody kind of equal and have be cool.
People that are using the system get to determine how the system is governed.
That is correct. And it's really frustrating. And I learned that I've told this story, but I learned that when the market was shitty for lawyer jobs, which it still kind of is. But I ended up working for this dude that was like trying to prevent foreclosures. And I sued this bank and they were shady. I sued this bank. I got all the way to like the appellate court in California. And the judge, like, dead ass looks at me and he's like, well, those are really just guidelines and the banks don't have to follow them. And I was like, dude, they got billions of dollars in exchange for agreeing to modify these mortgages. And you're telling me that home affordable refinance program that they signed, I had the original documents with the dude from the bank's like signature, is only a guideline? And he's like, yeah.
I didn't realize that California law was the pirate code.
It is the pirate. And I said that in open court. Somewhere I have a copy of the transcript. I said, Your Honor, this
More
is
like
not
guidelines.
I have a signed agreement between the U.S. government and this bank. And he was like, but yeah, Your Honor, this is not Pirates of the Caribbean, came out of my mouth.
Sometimes.
Well, I mean, we want to pretend like it's not, but
I mean, right. But it is. And that's why when people are like, we should sue them and we should do this, I'm like, no, you fucking shouldn't. Like,
they've got more money than you, you'll lose. And,
they got more money than you, and I do it and check your blood pressure at the beginning of the litigation, at the end. I promise you will have a blood pressure. Like, and that's why like the sovereign citizen thing pisses me off so much, because it's trading like.
We need to start. Everybody has to take a drink when she says sovereign citizen.
I know you're all gonna be so wasted, but it's like you're just trading one messed up state for another messed up state. Like, what's the point? Like, why? Right?
Oh, I know.
Any state. I don't want that state. I don't want your state. I don't want the state.
Oh my God. Patty came over and the squirrel was over and football was on. She got to see the ravenous football me.
It was awesome.
Uh-oh.
It was good.
Okay, just in case anybody wants to know, mybookie.com takes Bitcoin deposits.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's cool.
Cool.
That is cool. Yeah, so all y'all are you're gonna be at Self-Reliance Festival. Actually, all of you are gonna be at Self-Reliance.
I won't. I'm the only one. I'm the odd man out this time.
Did you guys see me today?
I didn't see you today.
No, it was her normal like pumping up Self-Reliance on Red. So it was Billy Bond and John Willis and me.
Oh yeah, I saw the.
I got the shirt on the air. And John gave me the old like, "Hey, heads up! They fucking road pirates are heavy around my front door." I was like,
Billy was like, "I want to pick this motherfucker's brain." Yeah, he was all about it. Oh, I was laughing too. There was a comment
Billy
going
Bond
like,
was
"Don't ask
great.
this guy a question unless you have some time." Because
well, he asked me that one question about where did I get the idea for it, and I didn't want to freak him out, so I just kind of like
you didn't want to freak Billy Bond out. Okay.
I figured that required an in-person and
so what's the real answer?
Things like come to me like, just like you see them floating in 3D.
You learned it in a fever dream. Oh, okay, right.
No, but seriously,
it was a shower thought.
Well, I was looking at fucking.
Hey, turn the shirt around. Just look at the back of the shirt.
Let me show you my inspiration.
Let me show you right
here. Yeah, So yeah, they were. Paul Wheaton had a whole thing on natural swimming pools. He just put out the DVD, but 8 years ago, he had the whole idea of the airlift and the little polywog swimming.
Right.
System. I was like, yeah, motherfucker.
You were afraid to sit there on.
Put it all together. It was like
you were afraid to sit there on Nicole and John's channels and say, I was watching permaculture shit while I was faded out of my mind on shrooms.
Right.
No, I wasn't watching it. I just, it was in
his head. That's when it comes out. Is when
you just spin it over the fire, and there you go. Then you got to go build it. Where do you think I got my fucking aquaponic elevator from?
Yeah. So
somebody's gonna build that motherfucker. I tell you.
At Self-Reliant.
How about
I still think the Ferris wheel is gonna work better.
Living river trays.
No way. They can take so much weight on fucking steel I-beams directly down and not canting.
We're gonna argue about this till we build one of these.
You get into canting that
shit
out.
I think the bearings,
wheels,
surface area, the sunlight ratio. I mean, we went into this. I had shit scribbled on cardboard.
Hey, did you call Alex yet?
Property.
Hey, did you call Alex yet?
Alex? Okay, look at my notes. Okay, I'm gonna cover up his phone number.
Call Alex.
Gremlin
Like,
Oh, that one. That
add
Alex.
the coupon code. Yeah, I didn't do
Isn't
that.
he still in court? He may not answer.
I told you I got a giant order. I got to like roast. Chicken Joe's in
I want to
there.
hear. I want to hear
wings
that
for the phone.
interview though. It's going to be fantastic.
You better be on the air.
It will be. Oh yeah, I'll talk to him. You might. Yeah, I'll call
Did you
him.
look at any of his TikTok stuff?
I don't look at anything on TikTok. Well, you put shit up and then I click on it.
I
And then I
sent,
try to, like,
one
avoid
to you.
anything
I
else.
sent one to you about the frequencies and
This shit.
the quantum mechanics and
The one that you sent me, I watched. Yeah,
Okay.
It's fucking solid.
Yeah.
I love it.
I'm like,
It's
this is like scrambling right here. What the hell? These guys, they're on
numbers,
the same page.
vibration, light, energy, particles, all the fucking same.
These guys are on the same frequency here. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's-
I watched him do another one where he was talking about protons and neutrons and electrons equaling out to whole notes, half notes, and quarter notes.
Mm-hmm.
Symmetry is so. Let's see. Man, there's a fractal universe. There's a whole book on like mirror image universes.
I mean, it wouldn't be a good thing to sit down. I mean, it is a fantastic thing to sit down and eat a bunch of fine chocolate too, and watch his videos all night. Not.
what do you do with it? That's the question.
Well, if you
I don't
think
know.
about it, I mean, music is
So
based on math.
Nicole
Math is
earlier,
based on
Corey was
physics.
listening to a Nicole episode earlier before the show today.
Yeah.
I happened to come in the middle of it, and I was sitting down, and she was talking about, like, she was using her sci-fi brain, and she was talking about how to harvest the energy, like the different energy. She was thinking about, like, maybe harvesting energy out of photosynthesis or something like that. And I was like, all of a sudden, Corey's like, what are you doing? I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, you're just like staring off into space. I was like, oh, I was wondering how to harvest the vibrations of the leaves blowing in the wind.
It's true. Think all
Okay, Brian.
No, think of those fucking tree branches moving. Woo, 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 woo. If you
Hey,
had those
I'm just saying we ought to be
branches-
harvesting all this 5G energy around here and using that to charge our phones.
Well, they got the haptic suits that self-charge
Here
the
we go.
device that's in the pocket based on the movement of the suit.
Right.
Wiring up a tree is not that fucking crazy.
Right. But then I was like, oh my God, what a utopia, what a fucking dystopian world. Like the forest is just full of wires.
Well, the idea is, right, you just thought of a whole other, like, oh, dude, for free energy. The problem is free fucking, the closer you get to 0 point, everything becomes relatively, it's disinflation is what's happening actively, right? That's why they're freaked. They got to do all the crucking. They got to start wars and shit to try to like gin up prices and print like a fucking.
Well, it's like every time you see some shit on like TikTok and somebody's like, "Hey, I built this hydrogen cell and I'm about to put it in my truck and run it off of it," and everybody's like, "Yeah, he'll be dead by the end of the week."
Yeah. Well, she was talking
You know?
about some dude that figured out how to make plastic out of algae because it was like some teenage kid that got bored and he like figured out how to make plastic out of algae.
Yeah, because algae spits out oils that you can. It's an oil. You've worked in a refinery. You got oil. You got whatever you want. Past that, depends on how much work you want to do.
Well, and I mean, the recycling technology that I worked on in a different capacity could really, I mean, if you could make it on a personal level and not a production level and just have like, you could really do some recycling. It would be expensive. It would have to be a green initiative type, like for the betterment of the landfills type of project. But
The crazy thing is, though, algae grows everywhere, all the time, a lot. Anytime there's water, you have to
When
do.
I was
it
9 years old, I recycled plastic into an adhesive combustive solution.
right, yeah, this was basically we.
Well, I shouldn't say. I mean, now what the hell, napalm, whatever. I mean, you're
Yeah.
already setting up on this fucking channel already. If they haven't blocked all this shit and taken all our channels down by now, we're good.
Yeah, we gasified.
See,
gasified.
Okay, there you go.
That was pretty cool. They ended up cleaning up oil that way too, like
Yep. It's really
cleaning
cool.
up used motor oil because they would do the same process. They would gasify it and then recondense it at different temperatures through a tower, so you would get different.
Capture it back.
you would get different density, basically different
Right.
long chain hydrocarbons. The different lengths of the chain determined how combustible it was, and we would get everything from like a flare gas to heavy oils.
And all the flare gas dudes now can hook up their Bitcoin mining shit.
Oh,
So
dude.
every flare gas pipe is now
Our
another
flare was the worst thing we had, and then we had this naphtha stuff that we made. Oh boy. I don't know if you'd ever like try to put it in a lawnmower or something and fire that bitch off, but holy shit, it was fire. It was it's the same kind of consistency as like jet fuel.
Did you see that that TikTok I sent you the other night with the guy who had his old diesel ass truck and he was rigging up, instead of nitrous, he was rigging up oxyacetylene
Yeah,
as a boost? And I said, this guy's going to the fucking moon, and it may not be the good way.
he was building a rocket ship he didn't even understand.
That guy, well, see, that guy, he's been fucking with
That's
that
not
truck
great.
forever, but it's a pretty interesting channel. He calls that thing Old Rusty or some shit like that, but he runs that truck exclusively on waste oil.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so he just added a little nitrous to
No,
just
he had a
pull
whole
that out.
oxyacetylene system set up in with a regulator so he could push a button and have oxyacetylene straight into the intake.
That's a good way to just blow your cylinders.
That's
up.
what he said. He's like, I've got a special cylinder here and everything, but I'm going to regulate how much because I could blow the block right out the hood.
Fuck yeah, you can. Oh,
I'm
dude.
like, you might blow more than that. You might blow a city block
You
up.
might
or
blow
something.
yourself up.
You know, like that starter fluid that you spray? Like,
He was like,
Yeah.
this is very
we exploded
dangerous.
a 4-cylinder fucking Honda
Right.
in the upper driveway doing that. Like, literally just blew the
I'm like,
ball.
I can't tell somebody to fuck off because it's aggressive behavior, but you're over here showing people how to blow themselves the fuck up and your shit stays.
And it's totally fine.
Oh, you just
You're
have to
talking
pretend
about
to be a
swag.
mechanic in their
I was
car.
holding
Your
up my
fuel shop
PSP swag.
on the side.
Ah,
Is that the
I
new
know
gear
it's
shop?
Yes.
nice.
It's
Okay.
super nice. That
You
way.
buy high quality gear. How does it rate? You
good.
know your filter's fucking with it because it's
I
not a place.
It's
It looks
I
like high quality H2O.
it's really good, and it's like a good size.
Like
And
vacuum seal. Will it fit in the
I've
car
had-
holder?
the ice in here is from yesterday. So yeah, it's good. So I'm probably gonna take it with me to
Go for
SRF.
Ryan?
Hey, that's a good beating weapon on a plane.
Oh yeah, it is.
Whap, whap. You imagine Patty cracking doing that in the skull?
It's yeah.
So she's not going to bring her pew pews.
Bring
She's
this.
going to bring
I'm good.
PSP flag. Yeah.
That and one of those really fancy pens.
Yeah.
Hey, Patty, do you order from Backcountry?
Probably have at some point. I'm gonna try not to.
He's
buy
got
it.
an affiliate link, Mr. Affiliate Whore up here.
Oh! What was I telling Corey that you were just affiliate whoring? Oh, maybe I told it while we were talking.
What weren't you?
Oh, it might have
I'll
been.
make it easier.
It was
No,
in
no,
it was in a Telegram chat or something. I was like, oh, here it comes. Here it comes. There it is.
There's your affiliate. Yeah.
Oh my
I
god.
got to get him where I can. Somebody's got fucking Tractor Supply up here.
Okay, so the best thing I found on YouTube the last week. Remember how I said like a year or two ago, I've been on the hunt for an electric motor for my Arima. I gave the 50
Yeah.
volts away because I am fucking done with motors. Fucking done. But it's a great boat.
Fuck
So-
motors.
There are the last time we looked at real outboards, they were like all over $12,000, like at all to even start. They're down to like 3,000 now, like 3 to 4. Like
Really?
think
What do
about
they run
never
off
having
of?
to winterize, never having to fluid change, never
Is it
having
battery powered?
Yeah, what do they run off of?
same as lithium ion pack.
Huh.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
48 volt. 48 volt, however you want to make it. It's just the motor. So, like, Patty's got that whole house beast pack that she's got. If we
Yeah,
pair
it's
two of
great.
those
Replace
things,
motor
it
in and
makes
out.
it
How
work.
heavy is that stuff into the boat, though?
So you would replace
Oh,
your
my
put the
boat?
motor itself
Oh.
into like an outboard motor with the electric drive motor.
I
and the
got so
two
much
drive?
room, like where the gas tank is. I don't need a gas
Yeah.
tank, so there. Or I would balance the weight. I'd probably put him up front and run big DC cables back. But DC, whatever.
Just don't be in the water if you sink that bitch.
Yeah.
Oh.
No. So okay. So that is the beauty of my boat. It is unsinkable.
Oh my god, they all say that.
So
So-
was the
Titanic
Titanic.
fucking said
So
that.
you can take her out in the Sound, take a 12 gauge out with you, get a big old like flounder in there that's going to break your leg, and shoot him with the 12 gauge. And like, oops, I shot a hole through the bottom of my boat. Like, oops, 2 more.
There's no icebergs out there, are there?
You ain't going down. You're not going down. You'll sink in about 18 inches, maybe bob around a little bit with some water at your feet. If you want to drive around with the engine, it's going to be slow, but you will. It's a double hulled with high density foam insulation through between the entire tool.
So
Like you have to
Propeller.
explode the thing to make it
Foam.
sink. So it will float with half a bottom. Yeah. So
It's
even
a
if you like wham a
It's a fucking
container,
fishing
say at
rod.
night, ran, container, half your bottom gone. You're okay. Just fucking hang on the boat. You'll be in somebody's way shortly. But they were made for the Puget Sound to fish out here because we're the ocean, but we're protected. So someone will always get you as long as you're just floating about.
So I had a realization today, and so who sous vides? You do, right, Brian? I know Josh
I
does.
should be. Yeah.
I fake sous vide. I got the thing, and I'll throw it in hot
Sous vide
water.
and fake
So
and-
here's the thing. So our oven in the campers, it's trash. It's small. It's inefficient. Whatever. It's pain in the ass to light. Blah blah blah. So we were thinking we wanted to cook more meat because we want to eat carnivore-esque, and we want to do different cuts of meat and want to do it in like a slow cooker or a sous vide. So I'm limited on electricity with the solar.
And sous vide is electric hungry. Yeah.
What's that? The sous vide is
Well,
electric
it
hungry.
can be kind of like, well, I mean, if you think about it, you're super heating. You have a really hot. It's kind
But
of like
check
a water
this out.
heater.
But check this out. So I did a little digging on Google. I haven't finished looking into it yet, but
Hmm.
like a crock pot would be doable, especially if we were here to monitor, like do 4 hours on high and then go to warm. It's doable, especially during the day when the sun is blasting. But the crock pot is an inefficient use of heat because it's a metal coil in a stainless thing heating a crock, a ceramic crock. It actually should be backwards. It should be a ceramic crock with a coil heating a stainless container in the middle with the product in it.
Ideally, yeah. But they do sell.
Anyway,
they sell
a
sleeves
sous
you
vide.
put them in that are insulated, like an
Well,
insulated.
right. But then I went,
blanket.
okay, well, what about a sous vide? I'm like, okay, so here's the deal. They're smart. Like the ones you're going to buy is going to have a brain to it. So you're going to set it. It's going to have a thermostat in it. It's going to regulate to a temperature. The only way it's going to need to draw electricity is a dissipation of electricity either into the meat to heat it or the water because it cools off.
The water itself, because you're maintaining the water at a specific temperature with an immersion circulator.
Correct, but the only loss of energy, the only loss of energy would be if the water dissipated heat or it went into the meat through.
The more
absorption
insulated your
or
container,
cooking.
the less loss. Right.
So
Your
I found
energy
a
use is
study
in the-
where a dude he did a pot on the counter. He did a wrapped pot. He did a covered pot. He did an insulated pot, and then he did one in a cooler. And the one in the cooler compared to the fucking crock pot,
a tenth, or third, or to a tenth.
Less than it was like.
So when I did an experiment for a while where I was going to do sous vide sausage on a larger scale. I determined it was more work than it was worth, so I didn't do it. But I've still got this. The square igloo coolers that have like the pull-up handle that always gets stuck. But they're that square cube cooler.
Mm-hmm.
And they've got the little cup holders on the top.
Yep.
I got one of those. I filled the entire cooler with spray foam on the inside and the lid. Hole saw for the perfect size for 2 immersion circulators. Cut it out in the top. Cleaned it all up. Fill that thing up with water, and I could literally sous vide 30 to 50 pounds of sausage in one run, very efficiently. And I could actually get that thing up to, say I want to run it at 120. I could kill that thing and come back 6 hours later, and the water temp would be like at 112,
right,
with no heat.
Yeah, so I'm thinking about rigging up myself a sous vide cooler cooker
And it's cheap.
to cook ribs or cook whatever.
You have a vacuum sealer?
Well, that's the thing. Then I got to run a vacuum sealer.
But they're not that bad. A vacuum sealer is not that bad on power.
No, they're small.
Well, and
You
I
ever
could
thought about
actually
this,
just run my
But-
generator one day and
Yeah.
do all my meat for the week. I could run the generator for 45 minutes and just
The
run.
other thing you can do, Brian,
Heating
especially if you're
water
doing
with
it in the
gas.
winter. Okay, so if you're in the winter and you've got your wood stove, right? If you got your wood stove running, throw a big fucking pot of water on that bitch and heat it up to close to your temperature, and then fill your cooler with that. And now your immersion circulator only needs to barely raise and maintain.
Dude, have you ever seen my wood stove?
No, I haven't seen
What
it, but
kind
I
of
know
big
you're
ass
showing.
pot do you think you're gonna stick on top of my fucking wood?
Stick it
Little-
right in
little
front of it,
shot
man.
glass.
You can set this on top.
Right.
You're like 34.
Okay, but
35.
well, I know. This guy up there saw me when I was at Float Fest sous vide a fuckload of shit with a crawfish cooker and propane.
Right.
Almost everything that I served there was sous vide pre-cooked.
Yeah, it just speeds
Just what
shit
you
up. But if you make the heat with the
The
gas,
trick is maintaining that
Well,
water
you
temperature
can-
evenly
Well, I
through
mean,
the
it's
night.
it's right along the lines of parboiling, and we used to do that shit for all the stuff we take
yeah.
to like tailgate parties, stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
Sausages, you'd parboil them, and then all you had to do was throw them on the grill. You didn't have to worry about killing
Right,
something.
right.
or like my plan to win Wingtober, you might like bake off a week's worth of wings on a Sunday while you're watching football, and then use your vacuum sealer and put 5 in each day and label them. And when you get lazy, like start a pot of water when you run by and throw it in a pan and chuck.
One of
some
my
wings in.
favorite things to do is cook a huge batch of like stew or chili or whatnot in a
Huge.
big ass crock pot, and then vacuum seal those in serving size, like one bowl in a
Right.
vacuum seal bag.
Yeah.
Seal it up flat, like lay them flat on a tray, freeze them, and so they're flat packed.
And then you got
Pack
cubes
those up
or
in the
yeah, flat
freezer.
packs in the freezer.
And
Is
then
there a different liquid that you could use that is more heat conductive or holds heat better?
I'm sure there
it-
probably is, but I don't think you want to boil shit in mercury.
Oil.
Oil would
what
work.
kind of
but
oil?
Really,
Any- This is a heat transfer.
you're in a
slower.
vacuum seal
Denser.
bag, so it doesn't matter.
Right.
It's denser. It will transfer heat.
It will. However, it's also a giant fire hazard if you're not careful, depending on your heat source.
But if you're only heating it to nothing like flash is at 200.
It's just
or
going to be a
Right,
sous
right.
vide. It's just going to be a sous vide machine in a cooler. But I don't want skanky water running
We're
around.
talking about making it
You
really,
get motor
really
oil in your
fucking low-
chicken, you'll know it.
Talking about making a really, really low temperature freaking a deep fryer, basically. But hey, it would work. Your oil will eventually go rancid, especially held at those kind of temperatures, because those are the perfect temps for oil. to
Not
start
the
going
new full
rancid
synthetic high mileage stuff.
at. Synthetic high mileage. Yes, you're
I
right.
fucking mean it. I'm serious. Those
Right,
things
no, but that's also
if
kind
they're
of
sealed
expensive.
to air, they're
Yeah.
sealed to oil.
Well, I mean, you can buy shitty canola oil for next to nothing.
But then it will go rancid.
Well, so will your. Well, I guess you're right. Yeah, you would. You could. I don't
Just
know.
the
I think
right
I'd
deal.
rather buy. I think I'd rather buy a few gallons of freaking shitty canola oil and get rid of it than have to deal with a bunch of fucking oil. And then what are you gonna do? Dump it on somebody's fucking Airbnb property?
Oops.
I'm gonna file arbitration claim against that.
Right? Oh, what man? What's all this used motor oil for? That's for cooking my food. What?
Did we scare Jackie off? Oh my god.
I don't know. She said she was coming on because she didn't have her kids' class tonight. But I think who knows? She's probably tied up in some shit.
No, I don't care.
Oh, well.
People come on when they come on. People got.
She's
time.
probably busy
How'd
trying
you
to
get
figure
on a
out her
swimming,
website
Patty?
thing.
Are you out now? Oh.
Do what?
Oh, I was muted. So how did what happened?
How'd you get out of swimming? Are you out for the season?
Oh, I
now?
changed the day. It's on Tuesdays now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
She
I
changed the
after
day
party
of
to
the
do that.
whole thing. She said, "Fuck this! I'm not doing this anymore. You guys are having this on Tuesday night."
no,
Please, I'm going
uh,
home.
it's a different swim school because the other one was shitty and I hated it. So and
It was
so
a win-win.
No,
Yeah.
you're still in
After
ground
party.
or what?
it's so much. Well, the other place was 6 kids in a class and it was just like super crazy. And the teachers didn't care and they didn't pay any attention and they were closed
6?
all the time.
Did you
Like-
say 6 kids in a swimming class?
Yeah.
Oh my God! You know how many were in my class when I went to swim and
Like
play in high
30?
school? It was a free
Yeah.
program that the high school
Well, in high
like
school.
kitty daycare. It was like middle school, like
Okay.
elementary school. In the summer, you
Yeah.
would go and you would like swim for 4 hours and then
Yeah,
do
that's
outside
cool of
track and field.
children that you
There
can't-
was like 40 kids per
Yeah,
instructor.
but that was like kids that already knew how to swim.
no,
No?
no. I'm talking like YMCA type.
They'd have like,
They, like, line
They're
up across, like,
here,
beach
grab
hallway.
the foam board and jump in the pool. You'll
Oh
be
my God,
fine.
They would look at it like, okay, well, let's see, we need 2 square foot of pool surface to start for each children, and you're lined up shoulder to shoulder, and now you all go swim in a straight line. Yeah.
What's the max sign say?
If
So
you were
his-
the slow fat kid, not that I knew anything about that, and the kids got in front of you, you just have feet like kicking you in the face.
You just had to hope that you weren't the kid that was next to the guy who can't swim, and he's like grabbing onto whatever he can to not drown.
Oh
It
yeah,
happens
and
to
then-
your
and then
ankle.
Whacking him with your board.
Everybody's like going
Yeah.
all across the pool like this.
Oh yeah, yep.
So the goal is not to make him scared of swimming.
Hey, come
I would go
on.
outside, play stupid games outside with like kids that were way too old. Like they had everybody from like second graders to seniors playing in these like sporting events together. These kids are like, yeah,
No.
playing
Absolutely.
dodgeball with little kids.
That was the 70s.
I'd break the rules and go over to like the deep end and like sit on the bottom, just like holding my knees and rocking and waiting for it all to end.
Oh, yeah. You see like what is it, Caddyshack and stuff, and the pool scenes. That was like my swim and play.
Okay, so here's the difference though. That
6-year-old
was
kids
like
pissed as soon as they got in the water.
that was like daycare in the summer, right? That was to send you somewhere. Okay. The only reason I am showing up is for my kid to learn how to swim. That is the only reason I am there. And I have to be there. So like if I'm gonna be there,
Why do you have to be there for him to learn how to swim?
you can't leave that age group. You're not allowed to. It's not a drop and run situation.
Because they don't let Jews walk on water anymore.
Yeah. So I don't want to be there, one. And so you need to teach my child how to swim, and so I cannot come here anymore. I want to be
So
done.
what do you do when you're there?
I'd return
Threaten
emails.
to sue people?
It's like 30 minutes. I just return emails and like
So you're really what is the why do you have to be there?
because it's the
Incompetent to
70s.
watch your children?
Well, it's the 7. Well, where are you gonna go? Like it's only a 30-minute class. Like
So you'd have to come back and pick them up.
yeah, like what? It's
You
not
go
like I
get drunk somewhere and
You
come
can't
back.
you can't just let them
There isn't
float until
anything
you're
out
done,
there.
you're ready to come back. Like
I'm in the woods, so there's really no point. But the new place is only 3
What are
kids.
lifeguards good for anymore if they can't babysit your
They don't
kids
have.
for an hour or
Well,
two?
they have the teacher. They don't really have a lifeguard, but
There's no lifeguard in the swim class?
well, it's the teacher who's the lifeguard, right? And there's like a bunch of teachers in the pool. But this place is only 3 kids, and already in like the first 3 lessons, he's like me. He doesn't like to put his face in the water like at all, and I don't either. And he was like, "No, I'm not
It's not
doing
very
that."
hygienic.
Yeah, I just don't like putting my face in the water. So within the first 3 lessons, they had him like full on getting dunked, and he was fine with it. It was crazy. And it was because the teacher just goes like this: plug your nose, I'm dunking you. Thank you. And the other teachers were like, oh, we don't want to upset the children. And then they weren't like teaching them anything.
You know how they got me to go underwater? I was standing on the dock and somebody pushed me in.
Well, right. But
Oops.
I mean,
My
Go
family,
underwater
my family was super religious and not Jewish, so I got forced underwater for a whole different
in
reason.
a
yeah,
river.
that's right.
They dripped you.
You were in a river, weren't you?
It was a lake.
Were there people? Was the choir in the river, in the lake?
There was no choir. There was
Oh.
just family awkwardly drowning a child. It was a small family religion thing. So there was like a small group.
No
People-
I
choir.
was always impressed
Watching
that
them
when
drown a
the,
child. Yeah.
I'm always impressed when the choir is actually in the water.
In the water.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, sure. That's
Oh, the space dog showed up. Okay, did you see York Meadow Farms is releasing their shit tomorrow morning?
I
Yeah.
didn't see it.
I think
Where are they
Scrap is
releasing?
going to be a coupon code. I talked to him. He showed up at the end of my show today. I was like, we need an easy button. He's just got to go, boom, buy sauerkraut, more
you were
sauerkraut.
too slow reading your comments to get the right freaking the right coupon code there, Brian.
Oh,
Give
yeah.
them the
Did you
coupon code for the asshole.
Oh
They came
yeah,
up with something, and I was like, it should have been, dude, where's my car?
Oh, right?
dude, where's my car?
Dude, where's my car?
Okay, I haven't done it yet. I could load both.
You could do both. Yeah, do both.
Dude, where's my car? Oh fuck. Okay,
So
Scrappy's
your jobs,
out of here.
Brian's, the Brian's jobs
Brian's.
at Self Reliance Festival is going to be don't let Patty get into an argument with a sovereign citizen.
Nah, I'd like to.
Oh, come
Sounds
on!
like fun. Hey, okay, no.
I'll
You're like, let's
document
film
it
it.
for you for your
Your
arbitration.
jobs, if you choose to
You're going to
accept
film
them,
it.
be to film it for sure. Preferably live on the after party.
That's fair.
We need to
Well,
bring a sovereign citizen on the after party. That's what we need to do.
God.
Oh, that'd be fun. Live debate.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let him deal with you. Scrap says,
Well,
I
apparently,
started watching some dude that was talking about like validating your birth certificate and all that fun jazz on
Validating
TikTok,
it. Wow.
and I was like, you're a corporation, right?
yeah, corporation. Oh yeah, tune in Friday. It's gonna be how I went from a cat lover to now a dog lover.
aw, Scrappy.
I don't
dude.
discriminate. I like them both.
Oh yeah, I like.
I
pussy
like him,
too.
just not in my house.
I like pussy, but I'm a dog guy.
I made a conversion. That's a
I
conversion
like pussy, but I'm a
story.
It is
dog.
a conversion.
Turn in for a conversion story.
I don't
Friday,
want. I
As
just
the
don't want to
world
clean.
turns. What?
What if the cats like the squirming coil? Can they not be members, Brian?
They can see the squirming coil. Cats are freaks.
There we go.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Maybe that's why I get along with cats so well.
Cats are always tripping.
So, what was it? Who was it? Somebody in this group that was telling me about the adrenaline junkies and the cats.
Oh,
No. What was
No, I'm
that?
interested though.
So
do
people,
tell.
there's some parasite that
Toxoplasmosis.
the cats carry that
Yeah.
as a stimulant to adrenaline junkies, or it's a commingler
It's-
hormone or something.
You can get
Really?
the toxoplasmosis parasite from having cats, and it is known to actually potentially rewire part of the brain that turns on parts of the brain to actually make you like cats more. So people who don't like cats sometimes can get the parasite and start liking cats.
Well, no, but there's something to do that ties with like adrenaline junkies. So people that like do extreme sports and adrenaline shit like base jumping, stuff like that. If you poll them, there's a higher majority of them that own cats.
Mhm.
There's a parallel between that parasite
Interesting.
and adrenaline.
Oh, there's that, and on
Creating-
top of that too, it takes a certain fucked up kind of person to want to live with a creature that disdains you half the time. However, owning cats
lot of husbands
is
do
a
it.
constant exercise in consent. You know, a dog.
There's husbands across America that they disdain 100% of the time, and they still
That's
live
true.
with them.
That's true. Now that's the thing. A dog always wants your attention. Wants to come to you, is looking to you for guidance. A cat comes to you when it wants. A cat shows up. You almost kind of feel honored when a cat decides to grace you with its fucking presence.
Oh,
With
dude, we
exception.
had a cat
With
that
exception.
wouldn't fucking die. This thing was like,
I
dude,
ran
it
over
was
the
like,
whole
it was
time.
like
Big cats.
7 pounds. This thing was gonna live forever. It was so mean that when Corey got it, it was like her first pet. Its name was Cuddles. At the shelter that she got it, she goes in, she's looking, and she's like, I want to see Cuddles. It was this cute little black and white kitten. They go in the little room, they bring it in, and Cuddles is so excited it runs sideways. Like it can't run forward and backwards. It's like hopping sideways. And Corey's like, it's so cute. I want that one. The psychotic one that can't run forward and backwards. That's the one she wants. So she gets it and Cuddles. Oh, definitely appropriate name. It was so mean that Corey had all its claws taken out. Not just the front ones, all of them. So this cat got to be like 7 pounds, and it was like, 14 years old at least? 17 years. 17 years old. It lived it like it didn't get along with any of the dogs. It was so bitchy. Like it would bite you You would walk by it and it would just like lunge at you and bite you.
14 years old.
And so it lived in our upstairs of our house.
Now
and
I understand the Bruce Henner story.
we took care of it, like obviously changed its box and fed it, gave it water, everything, and it just wouldn't die. And she would sit at the pass-through vent, because we have old school early 1900s house that has like the pass-through vent for the heat, and she would sit at the top and go, meow, 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 and the dogs would like be looking at it going, brrr, like growling. And finally one day we went upstairs, we were getting ready to list the house. It was like, we were getting ready to go to Squatch Fest, and we were like, oh my god, what are we gonna do? We walked up there like the week before, and she was hard as a rock, and we're like, we don't have time to do a proper funeral, so we took her out to her in the woods. We're like, oh, the coyotes will find her.
Hawks, coyotes.
Return to the land.
Oh, dude, she was so mean. Just she was so needy. Like, you go up there and she'd like rub on your ankle, like kneading on your ankle with her head, because she was so needy and wanted you so bad. You'd like reach down to rub her head, she'd bite your fucking finger.
Was she
like,
white
and black.
Yep, sounds about right.
Why not on some fishing string and have it fly out of the tree down on the driveway at Halloween?
Yeah. When I first met Corey, she had another cat too. Its name was Dexter. It was super fat. The thing was enormous. And so she had the two cats, the huge fat orange cat like Garfield named Dexter. And it had like a fucking diamond tongue, and it would all.
Did you say Dasher?
Dexter.
Oh, Dexter! I like he's.
And it had this diamond tongue that when it would lick your face, you like literally felt like your skin was peeling off, and it would purr so loud it would sit behind her on the couch when I would talk to her on the phone, and you could hear the fucking cat purring in the phone. Yep. That thing got sick. It would like try to live on our counter because it was scared shitless of the fucking dogs, and yeah, he had a rough time of it.
I got one right now that's about 14 that's like that. But that thing, it was like a bottle baby at the time. Like, no, it was sick as shit. Nursed it back to health. I can do anything with that cat. It's super affectionate. I can put it on my head and wear it as a hat.
Oh, that was Dexter. Dexter, like, you could do whatever anything. You pick him up, you could. Like,
all about it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he was the nicest cat.
He's more spoiled than Scrappy up there. Yep.
Yeah. So
So the one that was nice and cool, like, had to suffer and die with like kidney problems, and that bitch of a little cunt, she got to live till 17.
That was my first one. Like, okay, so growing up, my stupid bitch fucking sister that I don't accept as another human. So that was supposed to be her.
Josh was gonna send his mom to jail for a year for $10 and a Taco Bell coupon.
What?
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah. Oh man, my family, that's a whole mess.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody posted some kind of fucking TikTok bullshit. What did they say? They said, would you send your mom to jail for $50 million?
But you couldn't tell her
why. But you can't tell her why. And I said, I would send my mom to jail for $50 and a $10 Arby's coupon, and I'd tell her why. That might have some of the most likes of any TikTok I've ever put up. And I'm like, pride. But anyway, though, this stupid cat was posting my pictures. But it attached to me. Like, it liked me, but it hated everyone else. Like, it would attack
my dad's
everyone
cool.
else.
I got one.
This thing, I had it for like 14 years. It would piss on everybody else's stuff. It would attack everybody else. It was horrible to everybody else. But if I was around, it was super fine. I'm like, the hell? I'm like, I'm not going to kill the thing. It's nice to me. Like, whatever. Y'all are bitches. I guess it just doesn't like you. I don't know.
Hey, would your dad rather come up on the solstice and maybe stay in a waterfront Airbnb?
Mm-hmm.
Now that we know how great he plays Squatch Fest?
Could, yeah.
That Sax Squatch guy hasn't contacted you yet. Damn it.
He gets paid. No, Candace is friends with. No, Chicken Joe's friends with them on Facebook.
Yeah. Get him out there.
As long as he has a place to crash, like, he'll.
I say to, like, hey, poke him, but she's like, I don't know.
Can you still poke people on Facebook? Is that still a thing?
All right, I don't know.
That was like the only good thing on Facebook.
Or something now. It's
like
a wave.
Hey, we got a.
That was like the only good thing Facebook ever had going for it.
I thought it was the best thing ever.
Poking. That was my. I don't mean poking.
I feel like Facebook really went downhill when you couldn't poke people randomly anymore.
I agree.
That was like the whole point of being there, I mean, that was the only thing that made them relevant over MySpace. You know, I kind of miss MySpace, honestly. I mean, what the hell? What did Tom do to any of us? He didn't fucking shadow ban our asses. He never banned us. I mean, you had to rank your fucking friends like it was some sort of fucking game show, but you know, I mean,
God,
I forgot about that. Oh yeah.
I'm like, the Hunger Games out here on my friends' fucking list.
Did it for sure. Oh yeah. I went on that let everybody join spree. Went crazy on Facebook.
I could put fucking like weird backgrounds on my shit and play music in my profile. Fuck,
Right?
those were the good old days. I mean, that's what social media was supposed to be about.
The funny
Bring
thing
back
is, though,
MySpace.
I say anything on Facebook, not a reporting, not a cricket. I mean, you know how fucking crazy shit I fucking throw out there.
I just
Never.
don't do shit.
I've
on
never
Facebook
had a ban.
anymore.
I've never had a strike. I've never had anything.
You haven't gone and argued with vegans.
There's
There's a reason I have I've lost track. I have at least 7 Facebook.
Because they read your shit and they go, that dude's so crazy, nobody believe him anyway.
That's probably true. Probably true.
Yeah, probably just like, oh
Well,
yeah.
you gotta realize too, 90% of the people who report the fuck out of people on Facebook are super, super, super to the left. And when they see somebody totally hippie tripped out, they're all like, "This is our guy." Even if they aren't listening to the shit you're saying,
They're not listening to what you're saying. They're looking at your videos going, oh, we could never disagree with this.
they see tie dye and they are all for it.
Until they
assume
do,
you're
and their head
probably like-
explodes, and then they're like, ah,
Right.
dislike. Oh,
Well, maybe by June, my dad will have his own trailer because he's talking about getting one and then just coming up.
you
And
said he
then
wants to get in the trailer game. Well, shit. Then why don't we like go on a hunt for a trailer for Pops and like if he expands his
should,
search to the tri-state
Okay,
region?
so here's
Think
the
of
search.
Utah,
Okay, here's the requirements.
lightly
Okay,
used.
so bed, shower, bathroom. That's it.
Yeah, any configuration, but he's older, so you want like a front tongue wheel, light.
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah,
got to be a it's got to be a
Gotcha.
bumper tow and probably like under 4,000 pounds, something
Oh,
like
way less than that,
Way
man.
less
The
than
new
that,
shit.
yeah.
Come on, way less than that.
yeah. So under like something like a mid-size SUV could tow.
Find a pop up.
Those.
Yeah, well,
Pop-up
he's looking at
all
the
over the
A-liners.
place.
He's looking at the A-liners. I kind of would like him to have something like an A-liner with a hard side pop-up because we do have bears.
You know those mini tow behinds that
You
are
know,
like the
what about
two
that
fiberglass
Escape camper
bathtub
van
pieces?
company that somebody has an affiliate
Scamps, I
with?
think.
No bathroom.
You're on mute.
No, the bathtub shell one. He doesn't need to get somewhere and then put a fucking jigsaw puzzle together.
No, that's true. Yeah.
He's fucking
Look
old.
at
He
these
needs to
things,
get there,
Patty. You should
drag
do
his
one of these
cooler out.
in your truck.
I said a scamp. I like
Brian.
the scamp fiberglass ones.
Put that
The
screen
scamp.
up.
That's what I was saying.
Hey,
Scamp.
Yeah.
put the screen up. Put up his
Yeah, hold on.
screen.
I got you. Hold on.
Ooh.
Yeah, my dad's not climbing on top of it.
No, but that's what Candace or Chicken Joe and I are looking for our top of ours.
Yeah, those are great.
Yeah, a single hinge, right? Because it's the lowest amount of form factor for weight and smallest footprint of the wind. Here, let me see if I can find that other one. I think
You
it
should
is
put up
called a
that,
scamp.
There's a new
Mr.
one
Phil
out,
Horn,
Brian.
Put up that Escape camper van thing.
There's a new
Scamp.com.
one out.
Oh, they make
like that.
scamps right here in Minnesota, actually.
That's right.
They're
Yeah.
made right there.
Yeah,
'Cause it's a
about
fiberglass
hour and a
shell.
half north of us.
Fiberglass. It has a wet bath
Right.
and a little
It's
cooktop. It's
hey,
perfect.
there you go. If he picks one up and he can get a factory discount, a bunch of people are so you're not going to be there, are you?
No, they're
Well,
really
What
expensive.
am I going to tow it with?
No visiting for
new.
you. Oh, I'll tow it with my Nero.
I'll come get
I'll go
it.
grab it for him.
Oh my
Go
God,
put it on my
Brian!
trailer hitch.
Did you see the Kia?
OMG,
It's-
Brian.
It's the next one up from the Nero that you have. It's like the Carnival or whatever.
The little bigger one, yeah.
Yeah,
It just
okay.
doesn't get 54.
So they put a Carnival
Telluride?
out. No, they put a Carnival out in South Korea, and it's called like the High Limousine, and it has a higher roof for car camping, and it's like it's badass, and you can't get it here, and I'm really disappointed. But it's really cool.
I'm just
They're
mad we
supposed to
can't
be
get
cool.
fucking Toyota Hiluxes here.
That auto driving stuff. That's what I was talking about on SRF
Yeah.
today when I moved with Billy Bond and with John.
So
I
maybe
was
we'll
like,
get it next year. I don't know, but it's really cool.
when the fucking man is telling you we are going to fuck with oil, we are going to do this. You can believe they're going to do it. And I had a 16-mile-a-gallon car, and now I got a 54-mile-a-gallon car. Duh. Duh. I just paid for that fucking trip like 3 times over. You know, and no maintenance for the next 200,000 miles. So yeah,
I'll find a picture of it for you guys.
I want to.
Yeah,
I
you
want
know
like a
what?
thorium
they were
power.
telegraphing punches, right? Like, so do shit. Don't be there.
If you want to buy some silver, reach
Yes.
out to info
Go.
at project.com.
Yeah, we were talking about what we were watching. Go watch that Mark Moss, MarkMoss, super easy. He's on Rumble, YouTube.
While you're at Rumble, follow
Odyssey.
the Lot Project.
I
I'm
need to
almost
set up a
100
fucking
subscribers.
Rumble. Apparently, that's my
Dude.
next thing.
Okay, so when you go set up a free Rumble for free, all you have to
think
do
I
is
have
give it
one,
the
but-
credentials to sign into your YouTube, and as soon as you're done with every live, shoo, it's over there. Nothing more. And you tell it what day you want to start syncing.
But
Mine
you
went
need,
back
you
5
need a certain
years.
amount of Rumble
No.
followers for it.
No,
Okay,
No,
like,
you only need a certain amount if you want to stream there directly.
you want to stream direct.
Ah, okay. So it's Odyssey.
This is
like
a-
that.
You'll get there. You'll get there. But just link it, and it's done. You don't have to do one more thing, and you're on a whole other
I got
Check
platform.
this out, you
72
guys.
followers.
Yeah, check it out.
This
Yep.
is a Kia,
Yeah,
and
for
this is-
value, and if you go to Puyallup Kia, they're doubling the factory warranty, so you get 20-year, 200,000 mile.
but look at for car
like,
camping,
I'm gonna
these
make you
seats
cry.
lay flat. They have like lay flat airline seats in the back of the Kia.
Oh.
So yeah,
You say an Kia or an IKEA?
a Kia.
I want to have to put my
Go
car
to
together.
IKEA, you got to get a Volvo.
Right. So
Brian just did the eye roll.
What? I was talking to Corey. Did I do
That's how
something?
nice look, dude. Come on.
He's like, show me some bare feet. Come on.
yeah,
I got to
No,
get
she was shutting my window. She's shutting my window in my bedroom, and I'm like, "What the fuck? I'm gonna get hot."
Yeah.
And she's like, "I have to start a fire in the morning." I'm
You're like, I'm a bear. I'm a bear.
Ah,
Oh, I can't wait to meet Nate. Oh, he looks hilarious. He looks woolly.
Nate Lamaster.
Yeah. Is he going to
He's
be
not
down?
going to be there.
oh,
Nate and Aaron aren't going. Nate, Aaron, and me are like the only ones in our fucking circle of people that aren't going.
I'm
Hey,
having second thoughts about Jax in November, just
Guess
because.
who's going to do the after party that week then?
Guess who's going to be? Guess who's
Me and Jackie.
possibly
And Aaron.
possibly going to go? What's Brian going to do after SRF? He doesn't know.
That's fucking great.
We
I
don't
see
know yet.
So
It's a mystery.
I'm researching options. We're liking an option. We might head south for a little while. Maybe
Overwinter somewhere warmer.
maybe meet up with somebody that might need some help doing some things.
Maybe.
Figure
Yeah,
it out.
well,
Maybe.
okay, so
Warm fucking weather. Warm
Somewhere
weather.
warm.
Yeah,
Somewhere we could
somewhere warm.
maybe focus on a fucking skill.
beachy.
Learn a skill and maybe help somebody out, and then do some other creative things. And
Yeah.
Survival
It'd be
podcast
pretty damn
is on
cool
till
if you could like
Saturday.
cut some fucking deer and do some like joint in-person podcast or some shit. I don't know.
well, right, and maybe some training videos and
Yeah.
stuff, because you'd have a camera person and somebody that knows what
Be
you're
pretty
about to
fucking
do,
cool.
so they can
Yeah.
take the right shots.
If the stars align, maybe.
If only that person knew how to do crypto, we could like sell the training videos for
Dude,
cryptocurrency.
that would be pretty badass. Like fucking butcher
Ooh,
video.
then you'd have an evergreen product.
I know, right?
Evergreen.
Wow.
Evergreen.
It'd be even more cool if they could figure out a way to actually do like fucking splits. So when they were bought, like people who were involved all got the cut.
Weird.
Right?
Then
If
on
the
to the next
technology
evergreen
exists.
project.
And maybe just host the MP and not even do any production of DVDs, just host the MP4 behind a paywall that's
Oh,
maybe like lightning enabled.
Oh yeah, why not? Easy enough.
Slap it up, lightning it, boom, boom.
Oh, and by the way, if anybody like just takes a fuckload of pictures or videos or things like that, and you want to put it up, there are things out there now that are like Instagram or video platforms where you can post your shit up and just make sats on it.
Yep.
It's there.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
you
Audi
do
guys
social
that can
media.
put
You
out-
just
the-
it's just
the
like an
Audi guys,
Instagram
they
account.
go-
You post your picture, you write your description, your hashtags, just like you're posting on Instagram.
See how much I want my little paywall to be? The Alley guys built it. They called it Insatgram, where it's
That's cool.
lightning enabled, and you literally can just go pay to view these pictures. Like people can just post a picture up, and it's free. It's up there. It's out there, and whoever wants to pay for it, boom, and you just evergreen forever. Your shit goes to your Lightning wallet.
For
Cool.
like,
I just turned my camera off because my bandwidth is probably getting shitty because everybody gets home from work and school and gets on the internet in my neighborhood, and it's
All 15 hands get on the internet, and it gets
that's
tough.
right, exactly right,
They're all coming home from the one box and getting right back to work.
pretty much. Mhm.
Ooh, glad I made it home.
I'm glad I made it home.
I've been applying. I've been doing due diligence and applying for some like part-time online jobs just for some sort of
Be
cash flow.
careful.
Give you a little bit of something, you know.
What's it look
Well,
like?
yeah,
What's it
just
look
like customer
Something you can
service,
do from anywhere.
something like that.
Yeah,
And so I was filling out an application today, and at the end they have all the EEOE stuff,
Oh yeah.
and I'm like saying to Corey, it was like, "Oh, are you a male or a female?" I was like, "Male, strike one," and it was like, "What is your ethnicity?" I was like, "White, strike two."
Hey,
And I was
you
like,
need,
"Are you a veteran?" I'm like, "No, not a veteran." Strike three. She's like, "Oh, you're out." I said, "Oh no, I got another chance." "Are you disabled?" "No, I'm not disabled." I was like, "I'm not gonna get the fucking job."
you need to
No way.
look. There's an app, and I was looking at it for a while just as some extra filler stuff, but everything was a ways out of the way and like major city type stuff, or required too much bullshit like the right attire crap. But look up InstaWork. There's a bunch of stuff on there. A lot of server jobs. Like you get like $15 an hour dishwasher jobs and shit. But if you can actually prove you got experience, things like bartending. I just want to pick up a shift, bartending, waiting,
Right.
something like that, and just walk in, make $15-20 an hour, and maybe come back, maybe not. And it's
Yeah, this was just for like
check that out though, because it
like? All remote work.
nothing else
What's that?
nothing ever lined up that I could actually do as like a side thing in the summer, but there were some good fucking opportunities out there. I mean, if you're anywhere near a major city and you can just like zip in and work a fucking 8-hour shift, making $20 plus tips, and then move on, go down the road and do something else. And every time you do that, you build up credibility on the app. Shit like that is something you should look at when you're on the road, because
mhm.
you're not committed to something. And you've
I
got
don't
the
like being
experience.
committed to anything
Exactly.
except my
Yeah.
wife.
Right. Obviously.
And 3 dogs.
Well, that you
Well,
can't.
they're
super
testing.
poor.
They're testing my patience.
That's part of the
I
package.
slipped. I slipped on the fucking slobber the other day, and almost like blew out an ACL. And I was like,
Motherfuckers.
and then it was like this morning we were sitting in this 35 foot camper, 32 foot camper, and I was like looked, and we were all within like 4 square feet of the thing. All
Why
these
does
dogs were
everybody
like
do that?
laying on top of my legs and under my feet, and I'm
Right.
like, what the fuck do I need this huge ass camper for?
Yeah,
Fuck
that's
you
why
too.
I don't care about downsizing. My trailer is 30 foot long, and I will look up, and I've got the husband here and the kid on top of me. I'm like, listen, if we look at, then I want a truck camper. Fuck you guys. Like, you're gonna sit on top of me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you'll have no way that you can take in homeless campers that forgot their tent when you don't have the space. You're like, oh
Same
no,
reason
my-
I always
they
work
won't
in
even
the
have.
Oh God, I still the balls. I just
That's
okay.
why I only
so
air
I'm like,
condition one
okay,
fucking room in
here's
my
the story.
house. I'm like, why am I spending all this money to keep all this shit cool? I spend all my time in one room.
That's why we're selling our house.
Yeah.
Right?
Oops, we don't have room for you.
Where's the
1,800
squad,
square foot
right?
fucking house for 2 people and 3 dogs. It's like, no.
The dogs take up twice as much room as me, so whatever.
Well, yeah, because they're like,
What? You don't want to heat 18 rooms in the Hamptons?
Well, and the dogs are kind of like quail. No matter where the hell they go or how much space you give them, they're all piled on top of each other anyway. So fuck it,
I got one under my legs right now.
Mhm. They're gonna sleep on top of the CO2 sensor no matter what the hell you do.
Oh God, that fucking
That morning that went off on the podcast,
That
dude,
was
I
so
literally saw
funny.
your brain shut down and reset. you completely froze and woke up a whole different Brian. It was hilarious. I was like,
Yeah,
"Oh
when it
my God,
happens at
breathe
3 in
through."
the morning and you're trying to find the button to reset it, the
Oh.
dog he won't even move. He doesn't even wake up. He just lays there. The thing's like,
Laying there.
and he's just like laying there, just doesn't even fucking flinch. You're like trying to push the 160-pound dog out of the way,
Dude,
and then
you were
try to
just-
find the button in the
You were
dark.
just so chill and zen that morning and sipping your coffee and being all introspective and everything. And all of a sudden that thing goes off and you're all, next thing you're like, what the fuck is even going on? I don't even know. I give up. This whole fucking podcast, fuck this shit. And I'm like, wow. God damn.
I hate CO2 alarms. Like, I get the function and whatever, but you know.
I was like, dude, I understand, but holy shit. That was a total flip.
I think it was the second time it had gone off earlier that morning.
Oh,
They
yeah.
should
While I
hear
was
it.
sleeping.
They're dogs. They
And
like
then,
high
the second,
tones, right?
it went off like a second time, and you're like, Jesus fucking Christ.
Maybe he's learning that's how to get you out of bed.
Oh,
He's
no,
like,
The
I'm not
roosters
going
are like
over
freaking
here.
out. Everything's like the rooster's going off. The fucking CO2 alarm. I'm like, motherfucker.
No.
This is like pre-quit Brian, just like twitching. There's like a fucking vein popping next to his eyeball. Oh, and I was like, God damn.
Erin commented on my TikTok today that she says she loves seeing the post don't have to go to 8 hours of hell
Oh
every
yeah.
day.
Oh yeah.
The transformation on my
Good
morning
show.
walk.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I mean the difference when I went from being in private practice to being in-house to in like an okay department and then to being in-house now to a department where it's amazing and we're all friends and the work is really fun. Like huge difference.
Oh, I was reminded that yesterday when I was ranting about all my work shit. You know, the old work shit.
Right.
And I'm sitting there thinking, like, you know, there's a lot of times where I'm like, shit's got tight. Things haven't always been as stable. I probably would have made a lot more money if I stayed sucking a dick like I was. But goddamn, I look back and I'm like, I don't like the person I had to be when I was there.
Mhm.
I don't like how I felt every fucking day. You know, like I don't want to do that again.
Well, and
I
I
would
get
do that
people
guy.
too. I get people that are like, "Oh my gosh, you seem to love your job so much. Like, I want to go to law school." I'm like, "No.
Who do that?
Save yourself.
No, out of my whole class of 250 people, I know of like less than a dozen that are happy."
Yeah.
You know what my favorite thing to do is go on Facebook and all these people that have defriended me because I've said stuff like kids I went to high school with. So I went to like small town high school. I had graduated with 196 kids, and we were like the biggest. We were the biggest class within like the last 20 years. So it was more like 160. So that's the size of school I was in. So a lot of people didn't like, they all stayed in that town and, you know, they're living the exact, like I see them,
We put it back.
Their
Hold
kids.
on.
their kids are them when I knew them in high school. And I'm like, oh my God.
I'm so
like-
fucking glad I'm not them.
Yeah. So I like roll on Facebook and I'll kind of start trolling profiles. And I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, I'm so glad I'm where I am. Like,
Oh,
it blows my mind. Just the same thing. It's just perpetual
I know.
cycle.
I know. But it's what we're told you're supposed to do. You won't be happy if you
Yeah.
don't have that big job that
The ticky tacky, round and round the circle goes.
Little
Yeah.
houses.
People
That's a
hate it
great
because they
job.
invite me to these career days, and then what comes out of my mouth is, "Don't go to college."
You sure you want to do
I love the scene in Talladega Nights when Reese Bobby comes in to see Ricky at Father's Day. Like, don't listen to them. They want you to go to slow, and they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Mr. Bobby, it's okay. You can't smoke in here. It's all right. I'm a fireman
Yep, exactly.
and an amateur
Oh.
tattoo artist.
Well, the
Well, that I mean, in the homeschool groups too, right? Because I'll like, well, this is what I think, and I think that everybody should homeschool if they can, and here's why. And then I'll have people who are like teachers. Well, what makes you think that you're qualified to teach? I'm like, I don't know. I have your teaching credential. I have 2 other teaching credentials. I have a law degree. I have 2 bachelor's degrees.
Okay, well, here
Oh.
you go.
That's what I
So
think.
when I was in 8th grade, it might have been 6th grade. It was 6th grade or 8th grade. So my mom was a 5th grade teacher in a school district near us. So she was doing this thing with her kids. It might have been 8th grade. It was a little older than their class. So they had 4 classrooms in 5th grade, 4 educated teachers with master's degrees
Right.
teaching these kids, and they had a bonus problem in the math chapter. It was some algebra, introduction to algebra or something, and the bonus problem, they all swore that the answer was wrong, and it didn't have like how to do it in the teacher's manual. It just had the answer, and all 4 teachers said it was wrong. It was wrong. It was wrong. My mom brought it home to me, and I was like, "No, it's right. This is how you do it." Blah blah blah. I was in 8th fucking grade, and there was 4 master's level fucking educated teachers couldn't fucking figure it out. It took me 3 minutes at the dinner table.
Here's
When
what
I got
bummed me out.
Why do you need a degree to teach fucking things? You should have
Yeah.
learned it.
exactly.
Right. So
Go
that's the
learn
thing.
it, and
You're
then
going to tell me that I'm not qualified to teach a fucking child an education that I supposedly was imparted by this system.
Right.
So supposedly, if your system fucking worked,
then
and
I
you're
know
supposed to have taught me what I'm supposed to know, why the fuck can't I pass that on to a child? Why am
Oh,
I not qualified?
dude! When my son was going through all like the IEP meetings and shit like that.
Snowflake them.
Oh, dude, it was like, so he was in 1st grade or something. He was having trouble with spelling. So they're like, okay, well, there's 20 words on the list. He only has to learn 5. And I'm like, well, when is he going to learn the other 15? Because
Right.
next week he's going to just have to learn the first 5 of the 20. What happens to the 15 he doesn't learn? Oh, well, he'll acclimate those throughout his time here at Hopkins High School. I'm like,
No, he fucking won't.
no,
Unless you
that's
fucking
not
make
how
it.
that fucking works, man.
No.
So
I
in my
know.
district, the IEP is cool. Like if you can get one, they get like way more experienced, better teachers because they have to have more.
Yeah, well, they just tried to fuck you over in the IEP meet. Like, I would go to bat against like the head of special ed for the whole school district, like huge school district here in Minnesota, one of the bigger ones. And I would be like, I want this motherfucker in the meeting. I want this motherfucker in the meeting. I want all these teachers. The one time they tried to tell me that the teachers would have to be instructed on how to attach a Word document to a Gmail
Oh,
in a meeting. And I literally looked at them. I said, you fucking
dear.
trying to tell me that these teachers do not know how to attach a Word document to a fucking email?
You're all
And I
fired.
was told by my wife, my ex-wife, that I never had to go to another school meeting again.
Well, I
Yeah,
went to
you're
the
Not
done.
allowed to go to another school meeting.
You're
again.
dismissed.
Please don't
Okay.
go. Please.
Yeah, and that's what I expected. So I went to the IEP meeting, like basically I went to the IEP meeting with the mindset of I'm Negan with the giant. I'm like, I have the club and I'm gonna
Did
like
you
I'm
say you're
coming in
Negan?
like this. Right. Negan from Walking Dead. It's like my favorite character.
I'm going to an IEP meeting and I'm a vegan.
No, Negan from
You gotta dye your hair purple.
I'm a vegan. No, I got oh like okay, so my son's like don't
Look at me, my kid's obviously special.
right. Listen. So I go in and I was
Knows.
I'm loaded for bear. I'm ready to like have a fight, and it was so lovely. They were like,
Well, there's a lot.
yep, and we're gonna do all this, and it's great, and whatever you need, let us know. Thanks, and they were awesome. Like it was great.
They looked at your profession.
Tell like, this bitch is gonna sue us.
Yeah.
We
I
don't
need,
get our shit together.
I need a limo. I need a personal chef.
You're like okay,
Only eats grass fed.
grass-fed beef only. Thank you.
Need booger sugar for second period.
Whatever it is, yeah. No, I mean, my district's pretty good, and we're pretty rural, and they're not. I mean, so you're not
This is
supposed
so
to.
good because you're pretty rural and you're probably the only lawyer mom, and they're like, we're gonna take care of her shit.
Yeah, that's true. Also true. Oh no! So speaking of, we're gonna take. Okay, so I'm also like one of the only Jews out here, right? So
I feel like this must be what it's like for people when they say you have white privilege.
I did find a Christmas present for you.
Okay.
It was a cool llama. I was like, oh, a Hanukkah llama, look at that.
so we're getting a Chabad, which is like super conservative Jewish, but their deal is like they just want everybody to come do Jewish things. So they're also like really welcoming. So they're really observant.
What Jewish things?
Like they want everybody to do Sabbath services, or they want you to do Yom Kippur, or like participate in more holidays. Like they just like
Lend out
their whole
money.
yeah,
uh,
their
You
mission.
know, run
control the
help the
entertainment
government.
industry.
Right, exactly.
Be part of the Illuminati.
Do
and
lots of lawyering.
exactly. So yeah, all that.
Lots of guilt and
But they're really observant, right? Like full on, like hat, suit, prayer shawl, the whole.
do they
and
have
I'm
like the curls?
oh yeah, and I'm like, and I'm not, right? So
Brian, you need to let them know you're selling silver. I bet they'd be all over that.
yeah, actually.
Not for that
So
price.
they invite me to this thing, and I'm like, oh yeah, that'll be really fun. And so we go, and like
What,
I look like what I mean, at least I put a hat on, but like I texted my dad. I was
one
like,
of
Dad,
one of those hats?
no, this is
Like the what do they call those? The tortillas?
Yamaha.
no,
Oh,
just a regular. I just
Tomahawk,
put
yeah.
Hondas.
a
Tomahawks.
yarmulke. No, girls don't wear yarmulkes, but if you're super observant,
How does that work these days?
Yeah,
Well,
like can you
it's
identify
like
as
a
a
yarmulke.
yarmulke wearer?
well, remember it's super Orthodox Judaism, so
Oh.
that's not a problem. Yeah, nah, not in the Chabad.
They have to strap the little
They
box
hold the
on
line
there.
on the Y chromosome.
Yeah. they do. Yes.
Dude, I ran into some guys in New York City that had some curls. Those
That's
those
different.
dudes
Those are
were
Hasidim.
some badass motherfuckers. I really wasn't gonna fuck with them for sure.
They got their own
different.
police force.
That's the other guys, but yeah,
Yeah, they
the
don't
New York
call
ones
them.
are different.
Just straight up Krav Maga your shit.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I was just the tone in their voice. I was like, yeah, no, I'm cool.
I'm good.
I'm good. I'm good.
I'm down.
But yeah, it was funny when he met me. I'm like,
Avon.
yeah, exactly. I look like what I look like, but I took Jewish studies as a minor in college, so I can recite back like all the laws. And he was like, "Why do you know this?"
Oh,
stuff?
so you really are a Jewish lawyer, like the
Yeah.
Jewish law.
I took it because you have to take another. Okay, so in
Don't
California,
make me Torah your motherfucking ass.
yeah. So you have to take a foreign language for a humanities degree in California, right? You have to take it, like to
Does
graduate.
Hebrew count as a foreign language?
Wait,
So I
where
took
is the
Hebrew.
Hebrew counted?
Does that
because I
count is it foreign if you're Jewish though?
Well, yeah, because I don't live in Israel and I'm frozen again.
All right,
Um,
fair enough.
So I took in high school I took Spanish.
Isn't that kind of
I
like somebody
taken-
who's Mexican taking Spanish as a foreign language though?
Yeah, it is, but they don't care.
All right.
They don't care. Well, except for nobody in my family speaks it, so I was
Okay,
coming
all
from nothing. So I had taken 3 years of Spanish in high school and didn't want to take any more Spanish when I got to college because I was like done. And so I took Hebrew, and it was really fun.
I took Polish and failed.
Oh Jesus! Why would you do that?
Why would you took Polish? Damn.
You ever see my last name?
He's like,
Yeah,
I'm banking on the economy going to Poland in the next 30 years.
It's fun.
The wall is coming down. He's like, I'm playing the come
You got
hard.
this. You got this. You're going for the underdog here.
I wanted to learn it for my heritage, and they didn't have Ukrainian, so
Okay.
Fair enough.
There, I've forgotten all of it. I mean, I graduated. I'm old. I
I took
graduated.
Latin in fucking high school. They don't speak that anywhere either.
I
That's
was
cool.
like,
though.
I had to learn parts of Latin, Greek, and Hebrew growing up, but none of it was elective. It was all just religiously bullshit.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I
They were
figured
like,
if
you're
I
going to
was-
retranslate old versions of the Torah from the Strong's Concordance.
I
And
remember
they don't actually find it.
Puella and Puer are girl and boy. I was on like this fucking trivia team thing at the State Latin Convention. I was fucking bomb, man. They would wear their tunics, and there was I knew all the fucking Roman history and all that
It's
bullshit.
awesome.
Damn. So you went to a
It's
few
I was
fun.
also in the marching band, so
It's just
God,
like
you were a nerd too.
I also played 3 sports. And remember, I said my high school had 160 kids. You just
Oh,
fucking
so
did
you
everything.
had to be the nerd and the jock
And
and
the
all.
jock.
Okay, yeah, at the same time. Okay,
Yeah, you did everything.
yeah.
I
You had to
picked French.
diversify.
I just figured the chicks would be hotter.
So I took Latin
Well, shit.
starting in 7th grade, and then
Really?
my senior year I took Spanish 1 with like 8th graders.
Fiery. See,
I
You're-
tried to
you're-
learn some Spanish, and I just couldn't keep with it. I mean, I should. I mean, hell, I live in fucking Texas. I know enough to get myself in trouble.
I learned
I can be
more.
like,
I learned
hell-
more in a decade bartending than I ever did in Spanish.
Oh,
1
yeah,
in high
absolutely.
school.
How do you say give me 3 steps in Spanish?
I don't know, but I can be like El baño, por favor, ándale, mucho grande burrito.
I was getting ready to go
Tokyo,
on a trip
in
to San Diego. I was getting out ready to take a trip to San Diego to see my buddy, and we were going to be going to Tijuana. So these guys I worked with at the bar was like, dude, you got to say this to the bartender. And they're like,
Oh no.
I'm like, okay. And they're like, no, you got to say this. You got to say this. So I got down there, and the dude's neighbor, my buddy's neighbor, was Mexican. I was like, dude, so what does this mean? He goes, holy shit, who are you going to say that to? I was like, bartender. You're going to end up passed out in an alley, ass raped or something. I was like, what's it mean? He goes, I can't even translate it, dude. It's like Mexican slang.
Job before last, there's a dude.
I'm
he ran
down with
Belly area.
anything.
And little guy,
I love
Mexican
the
guy.
bowl.
He was Mexican, but the worst Mexican ever. Didn't speak a lick of Spanish. His girlfriend was in Mexico, so he went to go visit her family at one point. We always joked he was the worst Mexican ever because he didn't know how to cook fucking rice. Somehow we had him running the deli.
Yeah, rice and beans.
But he comes back after a trip. He goes, man, because he was like super like California accent and everything. He's like, dude, I'm going to tell you right now, don't go to Mexico and ask for a cola with my accent because they think you say culo and they're going to play with your asshole. Wait, what? Like, holy shit, dude. He's like, man, it was not a fun trip.
Yeah, vowels matter.
Yeah.
Vowels do
Yeah,
matter.
I
Especially when
experienced
you're
buying.
regional
I experienced buying some go fast powder on a street corner outside a bar while a cop stood next to me. Like the dude walked up to me. He's like, dude, yayo. I'm like, sure, whatever. I'm hammered. Whatever. And so he's like taking his shoe off and he's like pulling it out of his sock. And I like look
Hold on
over,
to you so he doesn't tip over.
and there's a fucking cop standing next to him. And the cop looks down, and I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't
Guy's
know.
scratching his foot.
And I'm like, he hands it to me, and like hand the dude some money, and he takes it, and he's like counting, and he like hands it right to the cop, puts the shit in his sock and fucking left.
It's like on a three-way.
Yeah, even back then, you were taking
I
people's
got
shoes
it.
off for money. Even
Oh
back
yeah,
then.
I got it in the fucking cab, and the cab driver just hands me a CD case.
Talk about welcoming your guests.
I was lost in Tijuana by myself. I
You're
had
like,
no
well,
idea
I
where I
guess
was. I was
culture-
absolutely like passed out, blackout drunk.
Is this what they mean by culture shock?
Fuck. Okay, well, we rolled into the show. We might as well roll out. We got
Yeah, it's about
3.5
time.
minutes. Go around, Brian. What do you got? Silver coming, right?
Silver
Start with it.
coming. 200th episode tomorrow.
200.
Hitting that 1,000 subscriber on YouTube, and when we do, we're probably going to give away some silver, give away some coffee, give away some swag. It's a big deal. So
Come get
yeah,
your shit. Subscribe to his shit.
go
Wow.
subscribe to the Lots Project on YouTube. Just search it and you'll find it. Or youtube.com/Happy Hills Homestead. I made it before we closed the farm. So subscribe to that, and then stay tuned. When we get around 1,000, we'll be doing videos on how to enter, how to get drawing points, and then we'll probably do a live video with a big wheel and give away shit and have parties. And
you're putting on Rumble every day too, right? And you got 3.
yeah, transfers over to Rumble. I'm 28 subscribers on Rumble, short of being able to send my live stream there directly every morning too. But every morning I do a podcast from 6 to 6:30. Yeah,
You're rocking Rumble.
We'll get you 30.
yeah, and I'm I don't know. I'm changing up my format. I'm actually been working on it. I wanted to hit it on number 200, but I think I'm going to probably roll out a new format around SRF, where I think I'm going to do some different shit. Like
Stay tuned.
little bit of segments every day, like a daily recap, and then every day of the week's going to have a topic. I'm going to go find a news article or bullshit about just a topic every day each week, and here and there, some other ideas going to toss in there. So big changes coming, and maybe a big project mirroring another popular site or sites, multiple sites that are being used that are a bunch of bullshit, and they censor all their complaints, and maybe we're going to make it so that people just can interact with each other.
Interesting.
Josh, go ahead.
Oh, me. RenegadeButcher.com. Ittybitty.tips, not ittybitty.com.
Itty
And,
tips, bitty tips.
Itty
I
tips,
didn't
bitty
say it.
tips, all of the bitty itty tips, and yes, all that fun shit. Check out Lightning for Liberty though, because this motherfucker up here above me and him just did our thing earlier. If you want to learn about lightning, We've been talking about that a little bit. We'll do it again before the after party next
That's right,
week.
episode 2. Fuck, I was running
Episode
around
2
cleaning the
today,
house.
right before
Okay.
this. Yep, and that's really about
Talk
it.
about onboarding into Lightning.
We talked
Both
about wallets
through
today. We talked about we answered some
Coinbase,
questions.
Strike, Exodus, Cash App.
Fuck yeah.
Had some screenshots. If you want to watch the YouTube video, go subscribe to our shit on
Push
YouTube.
that shit
Lightning
out.
for Liberty.
Put it everywhere. It's
Yeah.
not spam. It's a new show. People just
Right,
got to know.
check it
It's not spam till like the 20th.
Go to Lightning for Liberty, the Telegram group. Hang out, ask some questions. We'll help you out. That's all I got.
Well, my shit would stop freezing. That would be really cool. But yeah, I'm at agoristattorney.com, and then it's agoristattorney@proton.me because they changed the way they do their stupid whatever. So
You can't switch back?
no, because it was a new one. It wasn't an old one. My old one is 15handstuff@protonmail.com. Yeah. So you're probably more likely going to get me on that one because it goes to my phone. But yeah, all
And
the
you can
websites.
only have one go to your phone on the free version. I hate that bullshit.
I
I
know.
know.
It's really irritating, and I just need to pay for it. It's whatever. I check them, but I'm better.
You
I'm
could just
better.
get a domain name, like get your email at agoristattorney.com.
I know. I need to set it up. I have the domain name, so I could do it, but I just haven't done it yet. So I'm
The
15
domain
hands
name
stuff
right
everywhere.
15 hands tough.
Yeah,
That's
hire
for
me
Ag-
for stuff. Maybe I'll take your file.
Maybe 15 hands tall.
And I'm 15 hands.
Go check
All
this
right.
shit out. We
Guess
make
what
many
email
jujos.
is?
We feel
Hey,
bad
look.
for him.
All right.
Brian at foodforestfarms.com. How simple is that? Oh, no, it's not. It's scrambling. Ah, fuck that.
Grambling University, motherfucker!
Oh, yeah.
C4.
C4. No, the bridge to nowhere is not safe. Making
Get some fucking
connections.
coffee. Sign up
all
for this
over
shit.
town.
The owl in the tree hoots on the midday sun.
Oh, god damn. Ask me next week about the story about the old time AM radio broadcast. The dude who did kids stories out of downtown Seattle in the fucking like 19 teens. That's a great fucking story. To be continued next week. Behind the bar, where you can smoke all the weed you want. I forgot to smoke weed today. Well, I think I might have smoked.